Hey, what's going on? It's the 15th of the 9th, 2002. But you know, you got to go and check the dates. The time is 11:34. We are T minus 26 minutes away from a cheeky session. And there's lots to talk about. What's going on, Chiva? Patrick, I hope you could make on. Gian, this is techie. This is. I've been trying to, over the past 24 hours, I've been back and forth like a yo yo trying to translate this Lando Norris yellow flag incident, and I think it's a nonsense. Initially, I thought, well, Cameron, maybe you've been a bit harsh on him. Maybe you wanted to give Lando Norris some grace. He's only young. He's only young. He's such a good lad. I mean, there's no way that he could have made yet another mistake. And then on analysing it and deep diving it, listen, when you double click on the incident and the minutiae, it is absolutely botched. That's the truth of what's happened. T minus 25 minutes till we get ourselves a cheeky race start on a formation lap. Cameron, oh, the humanity, Max. I mean, it's techie. Snacks at the ready, Barack. Do you know what I mean? Ben's in news, says Sonny again. Yeah, don't hate that. Although a cheeky safety car wouldn't be a bad thing, Gay. Go on then. Let's dissect this Lando Norris yellow flag incident, because many people have said many things. And here's my take on it, as much as I've been thinking about it, because I'm an F1 nerd and a B-spec F1 mind. Here's my opinion on what's happened. All you need to go and do is have a look at Q1 and George Russell's incident, and the difference between how George Russell reacts to a parked up Carlos Sainz and a yellow flag as versus Lando Norris summarises everything that I'm talking about as far as the championship mindset, the old Mamba mentality, which is what Kobe used to talk about. George Russell of Kings Lynn, Norfolk, first of his name, is an absolute killer. Has always been. That's part of the problem that he poses to Toto, the boy who cried wolf, who wants to institute as soon as possible in that team one Andrea Kimi Antonelli and one Maximilian Verstappen. He wants to jettison George Russell. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. But George Russell is a killer. Nothing if not. Why? How do we know? Because when he saw the yellow flags in Q1, he said, fudge this. We can discuss later. Why? Because it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I'm going to stay in the throttle. I'm going to come off ever so slightly just to say that I've acknowledged the yellow flag conditions, but I can see what's going on in front of me. I can read the road and I have myself a semblance at least of racecraft. George Russell sees Carlos Sainz is parked up, yellow flags, nothing to see. I'm going to crack on. I've got to make Q2 here. That's my priority. And I'm a racing driver. Danger and risk, therefore, comes with that. George Russell keeps his foot buried in the throttle and makes it through to Q2. Meanwhile, in Lando Norrisville, this dude sees the yellow flags and aborts his bloody lap. Then on the next turn goes and makes a mistake, massive oversteer incident. And rather than even completing the lap, just throws in the white towel and comes into the pits. What are we doing here? I mean, do you know what I mean? Compare the market, favourable, adverse variances. Like, one is George Russell and one is Lando Norris. One I wish were competing for the championship. One is because that fella Lando Norris is 62 points behind Maximilian Verstappen and then gives away all the bloody advantage by backing out, throwing in the white towel. I mean, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Act like you are competing for a championship, surely, at least. A cheeky yellow flag and you just call it a day. How about you keep your foot buried in there? I remember Kimi Räikkönen. There's a very famous piece of footage from Kimi on YouTube. There's like a massive plume of smoke on, I want to say it's at Monza, either Monza or Spa. And Kimi Räikkönen has no idea what's in the plume of smoke, what's beyond it. You can't see, the visibility is zero. And Kimi Räikkönen, being the legend that he is, a thoroughbred racing driver to whom danger is nothing, fades to black each and every single time. Kimi Räikkönen kept his foot buried in the throttle. Why? Because Kimi Räikkönen was cut from a different cloth, right? Old school settings, championship material, if anything. Lando Norris didn't do it, did he? Aborted the bloody lap. Made a mistake, yellow flag. What you do, listen, as much as I've been karting and racing sports cars sometimes, if you see a yellow flag, this is karting, not Formula One, no stakes, no money for winning, or no barely even a champagne bottle to spray after you make podium. Do you know what I mean? There are no stakes. If I'm karting and I see a yellow flag, mate, one of these just to acknowledge, just to show the stewards that I've knowledge. You think I'm going to ease out of the throttle? Unless I can see danger on a track, mate, I'm going on full steam. You remember Isaac Hadjar and Miata going through the tunnel at Monaco. They don't get speed. This is the currency that we trade in as drivers, amateur, semi-professional or professional. I think that's worrying. What we saw from Lando yesterday is super worrying. And when I hear him diatribe post-mortem it after the accident or after the incident even, I'm even more concerned. Because you got to be super critical. I've said to Lando that I've said about Lando that sometimes he's overly critical of himself. But when I hear him talk about it was just an act of God, fortuitous circumstances. Do you know what I mean? Something that was outside of our control. Well, no, it wasn't, chap. Lando, it wasn't outside of your control. It was only outside of your control in as much as George Russell's was outside of his control. But he made it through. George Russell's not coming out of the throttle there. And therein lies the difference. One will be a champion at some point in the future and one might not. Why? Because championship material is a bit different, isn't it? Moles, yeah, going through the spray. Mate, Kimi Raikkonen was different. Fearlessness has never applied to a driver more than it did with Kimi. I watched that video back of Kimi going through plume of smoke with zero visibility. I mean, he could have died in that. If there were a car beached on the track, like, there could have been serious injuries and or life-threatening accident. Like, it's techie. Checker, Lando, trading places. It's techie, this. Mistake by... a mistake Norris made was waiting too late. I don't think he was. Just ask for forgiveness and not permit. I just don't know. I'm tired with the Lando Norris thing because he's brilliant as well. He's super quick. You saw some of his qualifying laps this year. Levels, right? Max Verstappen-esque almost. That dude is ridiculous. But then as far as making mistakes and keeping his head around him when all around him are losing theirs, as we are T-minus 19 minutes before we get ourselves a cheeky formation. Like, I'm just like, well, what's the point, Lando? Do you want to win a championship or you don't you? Like, this is black and white. I understand shades of grey permeate all of Formula One each and every single time, but this is that black and white. Do you want to win yourself a championship and or compete for one, or don't you? It's that simple, mate. If you do, then you want to start making some decisions in real time. And I don't know what the engineer was coming over the radio apologising for when it's Lando. He should have kept his foot buried in the throttle. Just a cheeky feather. Do you know what I mean? Barely come out the throttle. I'm sure George would have been arguing in the steward's room yesterday because he got a cheeky reprimand. Look, I acknowledged the yellow flag and I came out of the accelerator pedal ever so slightly, briefly, as any die-hard, grizzled F1 peddler would do. No, but not Lando. No, Lando completely abandons the lap. What's going on, Ray? How you did? Why wait so long to get out in Q1? Yeah, agreed. Well, he did a... Yeah, agreed. But sometimes things happen, right? And you find yourself in a circumstance, and sometimes you need to put on your big boy pants and like make some bloody decisions in real time. Chaos theory is what F1 can be. And Lando Norris had himself an opportunity to be a hero, but yet again he finds himself as a zero. And I'm not walking that back. How easy will it be to overtake it? So take it once. So Lando was talking about this. It depends, right? Very often you can just find yourself in a cheeky, dirtier DRS train. So it'd be techie, and it would depend on your setup. Look at these Red Bull, like hiding the wing beam. So Red Bull have brought in a new wing beam, or whatever you call it. And this is redressed the balance, right? Look at them all standing around it. So Red Bull have bought a couple of different upgrades. They bought a mishmash of a floor. Look at this. They bought a mishmash of a floor. So regressing it back to previous iterations of floor. Why? Because Max Verstappen has been complaining about balance, and it's been hard for them to set up that car because, again, convergence, and it's narrowed the sweet spot of that whip. And this is why these guys, look at them standing around the back of the car, because they don't want people to see what they've done, nor benefit from it, nor replicate it. Why? Well, because they've got a new beam wing or whatever they call it. And what's that led to? Well, Checo Perez's happy days, but Max is still struggling, right? Where the difficulty, the main travail of the RB20 iteration before, over the past couple of races, was it being understeery. You'll recall Max Verstappen saying, I'm on -5 brake bias and the thing still won't turn. Now he's suffering from oversteer. How do we know that? Well, there was the cheeky mistake. Helmut Marko's saying that the cheeky oversteer instance that Max Verstappen had in qualifying cost him 0.6 and potentially a shot of being on the front row. So now it's oversteer all of a sudden. Now they've overshot it the other way. Max Verstappen now complaining about oversteer. It being too oversteery, too mercurial, and so too temperamental to drive. I don't think that old Leclerc pole meme still applies. Ferrari had the softest on the tyres. So it's going to be techie. Right, strategy. T-minus 16 minutes away from a cheeky formation lap. Charles Leclerc is your man on pole. Interesting to see the strategy, right? Here's what I think. Fresh in the mind will be Charles Leclerc's exploits going long. One stopping. One stopping is on the card here, but they've just got to be careful about tyre deg, right? The profile and the phasing of the tyre deg will be instrumental in deciding whether a one stop is even feasible, let alone the apex predator strategy around here. It's going to get techie. Yeah, you're a legend. You're a legend living on the edge. You know what I mean? Nate, Lewis has been sabotaged. No, Nate, Lewis hasn't been sabotaged, I don't think. But the issue with Lewis, as per James Allison on the Beyond the Grid podcast, is that there's a difference, right? Lewis likes to hustle the car along tight lines, etc. Short corners, whatever you want to call it. The issue for Lewis is that as far as his driving style, hustling the car along, James Allison says that it doesn't necessarily suit that qualified, like this set of cars, this spec of cars, ground effect, hustle the car along, try and extract your best out of them, and then all of a sudden you end up losing lap time. How do you know? Well, this season you can hear, is that Jeff Goldblum on the, oh no, you got Stefano Dominicali, Mohammed Ben Salim doing his best Men in Black impression with the dark glasses props. So here's what it is. Can you guys hear? No, you can't hear. Yeah, they just got to be careful with it. The strategy is going to be interesting. Tyre deg is going to be front and centre. Lando Norris spoke before pre-race about having to make a decision about whether they were going to start on the hards or the mediums. And again, that will be dictated to you. You'd anticipate potentially that Lando might start on the hards. Because, I mean, what has he got to lose, right? Starting from 15th now, having been promoted to 15th from 17th because of his cheeky yellow flag incident. I mean, bloody Nora, what are we doing here? This is nonsense. Mate, can we have a poll on how many wiped out of first corner? Mubashir, I don't want to jinx it, mate. I think they'll be all right, you know. I think they'll be aware. I think they'll be lying astern, tiptoey through the first couple of turns. Afternoon. Any chance of a cheeky shout out to my wife? Nikki Bott, it's her 6th wedding anniversary and she loves a bit of camera watch along on the second stream. Let's go. Nikki Bott, James Bott, congratulations. Six years. That's some heavy lifting there. Nothing to be sniffed at, mate. Props, congratulations. Have yourself a fantastic anniversary, James and Nikki. You are legends. Oh, it's going to get techie. Let's see how many safety cars we get. Let me check. I meant to check this before, but Cameron lacked on due diligence. Right, safety car settings. Let's have a look at safety car. I think the odds of a safety car will be high. So they're saying the odds of a safety car are 9 over. Oh, go away. Having a cheeky chat with Ollie Behrman. Ollie Behrman's been everywhere, right? Notable appearance on the on Ted's notebook. 69.2% chance of a cheeky safety car, and again that's under simulation. If you run the race 100 times under these circumstances, the bookmakers are saying that 69 of those 100 times you will get yourself a cheeky safety car. 204 watching Smahush the light. Mubashir, you're an absolute legend. I'm going to give you a cheeky. Where's Daniel at as well, man? I need to give you a cheeky blue spanner, Mubashir. Do you know what I mean? Spread the love. And listen, let me say for the avoidance of doubt before we kick off, preface everything I'm about to say with this. This fan channel, absolutely. Why is my nose running again? Bloody Nora. This fan channel will get, listen, T-minus 12 minutes away from a cheeky formation lap, during which, of course, no, don't be daft, James, you're a legend. And enjoy it, mate. Get your feet up and treat the missus, because that's a proper achievement, mate. Let me preface everything I'm about to say with this. This is a fan channel, an F1 fan channel that thrives on the debate. You guys checking me, coming in on the watch along, back and forth in. It's all about the dialogue and the argument and the discussion. Respectful as always, but this channel is nothing without you guys coming in on that. And do you know what I mean? Furthering the one that F's, or the conversation around the one that F's. Do you know what I mean? Oh, Darker Schooner, Naomi Bashir, you're a legend, sir. You're all legends. Again, this channel is nothing without you guys engaging me, indulging me in my my F1 buffoonery. Do you know what I mean? We are T minus 11 minutes away from a cheeky race start, during which, of course, we'll get up all our metrics and all our stats, courtesy as always. Courtesy of Multiview. Did you guys see the they keep talking about Antonelli on Sky Sports broadcast? They just did a piece with they were showing Antonelli in the precursor to what happened at Monza, and everybody was talking about it. The Mercedes Academy manager was saying that Kimi Antonelli is one of the best that he's seen. The reason why he knew is because when he was 11, he was racing with poorer machinery, but still keeping up with the guys at the front of the grid. Like Kimi Antonelli, that story's going to be an interesting one, right? One that we need to follow over the next 24 months or so. I mean, can you imagine he comes in and he smashes George? Mate, that would be nuts. All right, so we'll talk about Lewis. Bernie Collins asking Toto Wolf the questions that matter. What changed for Lewis between FP1 and 2 and Saturday quali? Because that's the thing, right? Lewis Hamilton fans will be spitting fire all around the world. Why? Well, because it looks and smells and feels like sabotage again. I don't think it is. In fact, I'm quite sure that it is not. But the story for Lewis Hamilton has been that when he gets into his 10 tenths bag, full send settings, that all of a sudden something happens, right? The car characteristics change, and Lewis complained about tyre temps, saying, come on guys, you need to put the tyre. But even Ted Kravitz threw Lewis Hamilton under the bus, saying, listen mate, if you want to go and check the tyre temps, the phasing of which the tyres were warmed up, then all that data is there. Sir Lewis, Carl Davids and Hamilton said one Ted Kravitz on the notebook. So it's like, hang on, who am I to believe here? Everybody's singing from a different hymn sheet. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Who do I need to believe here? It's bonkers. It's nuts. Charles Leclerc, shout out to him and his legendary qualifying lap. Do you know what I mean? This is the fourth time that he's put it on pole. This is his fourth pole lap in the last four. And then he's qualified before now. This is his fourth time on pole at Baku as well. So he's not been too bad, has Charles. He's quick around this. Something of a specialist. But he needs to keep it out of the barrier. I think he's got time in hand. I think that SF24 car is quick. I'm going to check the odds. What's his odds of winning? I think he'll be a big favourite. You know, odds on, there you go, evens. 50% chance. Run this race 100 times and they say Charles Leclerc will win 50 of them. More than. So do you know what I mean? That's, yeah, they fancy him. He had PU issues, sabotage again, says Ave. Oof. Lewis, I can dream Brazil 2021. Well, he's okay. So he's starting from the back of the grid, and he's taking himself a new PU. So that bodes well. I mean, that's reminiscent of Brazil on paper at the very least. But I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, me Bashir. I don't think it's not sabotage, is it? It's a confluence of many things. Handling dynamic. Lewis's driving style. Baku is Baku necessarily Lewis's track? I don't know. It's techie, isn't it? It's techie. Right, let me get this on the go, ready to go. Here we are. Here we are. Talk amongst yourself for a second. I'm gonna. There he is. There he is. All right, let's go. I think we have ourselves let's go. GQ metrics, we're ready to go then, I think. Are we Listo Callisto? This is going to get techie. To a TV watching Kokoni, do me a favourite and smash the like. It's going to get a bit packed in here later on as we start to lose our mind. Kaya beats GR. Right, let me do something else with this. Sky pushing out their equivalent of Multiview. If you like adding value whilst you're watching your F1, download yourself an app called Multiviewer. It is free. Tack it onto a cheeky F1 TV access subscription, and you are good to go as far as all your metrics that you see on the left and your right of your screen. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? All right, let's go. Let's go. Go on then. All right, so we're going. Natalie Pinkham says the obvious. Expect high drama with engine mode 11. They gave George the rocket engine. Sabotage, says Visual. Mate, Baku's the track that Lewis was beaten by Mazepin. I know it's not his favourite. Lewis is a fast and flowy driver, right? Silverstone settings, Spa-Francorchamps. You know what I mean? Lando actually to gain positions on lap 1 for the first time. I wouldn't bet my mortgage on it. If I were indeed a betting man. Macon, depending on the start, 44 for podium. If not, the one. Behave yourself, Macon. Behave yourself. Hope springs eternal, however. I'm curious to see what Piastri will do in the first round. I think he'll have a nibble. If you can get at a nibble. If rest assured, Oscar Piastri is a killer. If there is an opportunity to have a cheeky nibble up the inside of a sleeping Charles Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Alesi, then Oscar Piastri will take that. You only need to look. I still don't even understand, having watched it a gazillion times, how he managed to pull off that overtaking manoeuvre on Lando Norris in the second chicane, Rogia, Monza. It makes no sense. Not meant to be overtaken. You can't overtake that. I've never seen anybody overtake anybody. Not at that point. It just makes no sense. Say that to say that Oscar Jack Piastri is nothing if not a killer. Can Lando get some points today? I think he can. He can get into the top 10. I think that should be his minimum, right? I think top 5 potentially if the racing gods are smiling down upon him. Do you know what I mean? Race trim, high deg track. Can't wait. I know it's going to be Techie Ray. Michael, intro music is go. We are T-4 minutes away from a cheeky formation lap, and I'm here for it. I cannot lie. Dun, 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 dun. Lando does a Checo start, mate. Morning, Annie. I hope you're good. Everyone good. Oh, Max Verstappen, we need to talk about. If you want Cameron to continue doing this in future, then please do not forget to smash the like. Living on edge, you're a legend, mate. I hope you're well and health is all good. We are 218 watching concurrently, and we're 3 minutes away from a cheeky formation lap, and I am nervous. This is nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking. You guys are saying 54% of you saying you've got Charles, and I don't disagree with that. That's broadly in line with the odds makers, is it not? 50% we said. Just. In fact, the joke is, let me do some maths. I think your 54% is bang in line, ironically, with soft F in the range. Look at that, 52.3% is what the odds makers are saying, and 54% of you are saying Charles. So eerie that. Eerie. Sky1 trying not to show Piastri pre-race, focusing on Leclerc. Mate. He's the star. It's interesting, you know, who they put forth as the story, who they want to get the pop. My lunch just finished. Oh, mate, you wanna get your cheeky brew ready, don't you? I've got mine. A bit of orange juice on the go. Do you know what I mean? Odds for a non-Brit winner today, mate. More than likely, eh? Here's what it is. It's in that order, right? Leclerc, Piastri. As far as probability or most likely outcome for this race. All right, we're Gucci. Locked and loaded, ready to go. I'm nervous, man. Like, why am I so nervous? I think I'm nervous because I understand the stakes. Is this not Lando Norris's last bite of the cherry? Look, 8 races left. On average, he's got to do on Max Verstappen 8 points a race, right? And even if he does that, meanings, let's imagine that Max finishes second every race. Let's imagine that Max finishes second. Lando Norris will have to win to keep up the current lick. Needs to gain, on average, he needs to gain 8 points on Max Verstappen every single race. Uncharacteristic error from Max Verstappen in quali. Take advantage of it then. Lando Norris did not. And that doesn't bode well for his prospects as far as winning, if not competing for a championship. Do you know what I mean? Off. Right, let's go. Let's go. How do you like your F1, ladies and gents? Bloody nervous is what I am, I'll tell you that much. Nervous as anything. 90 metres down, 90 metre run down to turn 1. Mate, good luck. Good luck keeping Oscar Jack Piastri behind you. Do you know what I mean? he wants to have that. Not me. Not me, Delaney. Let's go. Ready for the incident of the race. I don't want to curse the one that they call King Charles, or some refer to as modern day journalese. Leclerc, I skipped school just to see you. Well, it's a weekend, mate. Do you know what I mean? 235 of you watching Cody. Do me a favour, smash the like. We're a couple seconds away from a cheeky formation lap. Nervous. Look how nervous I am. Okay, so we've got ourselves a formation lap. My audio and visual, by the way, is ever so slightly delayed. Let's say about 10-20 seconds. Oh, the humanity. And breathe. And breathe. So my formation lap's just kicked off, so I'm behind. Oh no. Oh, so nice. Simply lovely. Let's go. Do you remember when Lando said that a couple of races ago when he won one? Oh no, it doesn't translate well. History doesn't look well, nor favourably back upon that cheeky banter for Lando. In fact, some might argue that, like Charles Leclerc jumping into the Monaco harbour, that might be in the beginning of the end. All right, medium first stop, lap 19. Hard first stop, lap 32. Go on then, let's have a look. Who's on what? Oh, I missed it. Oh, you can see on your the right hand side of your screen who's starting on hard. Alex Albon is. So too is Danny Rick. So too is the Norris that Lando's gamble. You may as well. You've got nothing to lose, mate. You're starting from 15th. You shouldn't be. If you had some minerals and some championship cojones, should be starting from well up there, mate. Top 5 at the very least. In fact, you probably could have put it on pole, let's be honest, or second. Like, bloody Nora. Again, another missed opportunity. Lando Norris failing to be a racing driver when there was a yellow flag. I was thinking, every time that I see a yellow flag, I'm not a professional driver. I'm a go-karter at best. What's going on? Oh, Lewis Hamilton putting on his gloves, starting again from the pit lane, having taken an additional power unit. Oh, the humanity. Would have been starting from 7th. I don't know how I feel about that from Lewis, I'll be honest with you. Oh, changing the suspension setup as well. Again, because he wasn't happy with his... He was none too pleased with the setup, the handling dynamic of that car. And what's the point, right, going into the race if you're not happy with it? Fair play. Lewis Hamilton starting from the pit lane. Nate, he pushed me and then I pushed him back, mate. Lando is the best car. He was still win sedan. That's a big call, sedan. That's a very, very big call. Cheeky shot of Christian Horner in the pit lane. Nervous as ever. Cheeky shot of Toto Wolff again. Nervous as ever. They need to show these more often, you know. Like the related parties who don't have helmets on, where you can see their faces in emotion. All right, we're lining up now. I'm going to take my eyes off the map because I'm a little bit behind you in terms of my audio and my visual. So you guys will be reacting to it in kind, in earnest, in real time, whereas I'm going to see my visual late and I'm nervous. Oh my gosh. Back on course. Might get the chance. You're a legend. Visual. Karma is a swear word. Don't steal the line. I love it. Karmic justice. Karmic justice is swift. She works 24/7. He will win the for me. Yeah, no, Lewis. Extra PE. Extra PE. Changed it. Here we go, says Chiba. Right, all right. I'm a bit behind. First corner will be a madness. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. I can't even talk. T4, one of you watching can currently do me a favour and smash the like. Formation lap is done. Flipping Nora. Right, I'm going to hide. One of the shortest runs of the first corner that we have on the calendar says current Chantic. All right, then let's get to it. 18 cars lining up. Oh, what is going on? 249 of you. You guys are go, go, go. It looks like from my... Charles Leclerc's made it into turn 1 first. Fair play to. I am 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are go, 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 go! Oh, Oscar flopped the start, didn't he? Decent start from Charles. Oh, Max Verstappen, cheeky lock-up. Oh, no, it was Checo with a cheeky lock-up. Max Verstappen side by side. Has he done him? Max Verstappen. Oh, my gosh! Who's that into? Is that Fernando Alonso into the back of George? Wow. Max Verstappen has done what he needed to do, though. Gets ahead of George Russell. Oh, the humanity. Red Bull double overtake. Jesus. Jesus Cristo. Okay. Checo Perez nails it, yeah. Checo Perez jumped up into third. Max Verstappen 2 jumps George Russell. I think that might prove very important, although he's going to need to nail himself one Carlos Sainz Jr. as well, isn't he? Oh. Oh. By the way, all of the top 8, all of them are on medium, so it's going to be racy earlier, eh? Until they get into this bloody DRS train again. 51 laps, remember. Lap 18, as soon as lap 18, pit stops from mediums to hards, from hards to mediums. Lap 31. It's going to get techie, ladies and gents, I'm telling you. Oof, no drama then. Journalais's prime is here, ladies and gents. No, he's quick. You'll never hear it come out my mouth that he's not quick. Because why? Because that would be disingenuous. He's very quick. But his soft vulnerable underbelly is a function of his ability, or his inability to mitigate, to trend to zero his errors of consequence. Yeah, he wasn't a great start from Piastri, but he hasn't lost a place at least. All right, so you runners and riders at the end of lap 1 of this 51-lap race, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at Baku. Charles Leclerc nails it off the start, finishes the first lap in first, as you would expect, although Oscar Piastri still within DRS. Oh no, Stroll. Oh, what is going on here? Destruction Derby settings, look at this. Lando Norris causing chaos, right? Up already 3 places is Lando. Up into 12th on hards, by the way. DRS has been enabled. Let's go again. Remember, DRS was 3 laps before, and now it's only 2. Let's go. Lando Norris over radio. Or Lewis Hamilton. What's Lewis said? Right, let's go. Runners and riders, Charles Leclerc, followed by Oscar Piastri, very firmly within that DRS zone, as at lap 2, isn't he? Oscar, oh, the humanity, the McLarens are on the charge. This, ladies and gents, remember we talked about this, ladies and gents? The sacrifice race pace at the altar of qualifying position. Look how fast these McLarens are. 0.95 is the difference between Charles Leclerc in first and Oscar Piastri in second. In third, you've got Checo Perez, another 2 seconds adrift of the race lead. Then you've got Carlos Sainz, Verstappen, George Russell, Verstappen making that key critical overtake on George Russell. This is reminiscent of a couple of races ago, do you remember? That he needed to nail when George dropped it on pole and Max needed to nail him early. Reminiscent. Let's see how Max goes. I think every time Max sees George Russell, he's like, right, I've got to get this guy out of the way quick. Otherwise, it's going to ruin my race. Alonso, Colapinto, Albon, Ollie Behrman in 10th. Oh, the humanity. This is bonkers. Sonoda 11th. Lando Norris up into 12th already. Lewis Hamilton into 16th. Oh, go on then, let's go. I think we have ourselves a little cheeky race on our hands, I'll be honest with you. And I am here for it. Absolutely. 250 if you're watching concurrently. Oh, Lando. Mate, Lando, look at this. What's Lando doing? Overtake him, chap. I just don't understand what's going on. Oh, has he set up the switchback? Why is he so meek and mild and hesitate, this Lando? Bloody just get around him, Lando. Come on, chap. You know what I mean? Hamilton is in a wheelie bin, mate. Franco is happy, he isn't. Come on, Lando. I just want to say, get moving, Lando, mate. You're out of position. Got to make these tyres work before they fall off. I know my hards and whatever, but you're out. You're well out of position. You've got pace offset on these lot around you. So get moving, chap. Do you know what I mean? 1.0. Piastri now outside of the DRS zone of Charles Leclerc. And Charles Leclerc would be happy about that. That's critical as well, as far as narratives for the race. Bloody Nora. And Harry Benjamin steals my line. Bless him, 254. Got work seen, Sedan. You need to get it in your earphones. You got to keep track. I feel like techiness is coming. Lance Stroll, Lawrence, yeah, of course, because he's an F1 driver. Lance Stroll, his son, indeed, has a puncture. Down 7%. Nightmare for Lance Stroll. His performance has been as bad as his attitude this race weekend, right? Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. His qualifying performance as versus his teammate, 4,500-year-old Fernando Leplan Alonso, was woeful. Yeah, Oscar's on one, isn't he? Purple from Oscar. Oof. Ugh. Dude, seriously, the long straight ain't great for overtaking. Maths at play. You do the switchback. Short straight, yeah, it's a good shout. Charles is in charge. Charles Leclerc has the whip hand. He's for a clean race, says Benzini's Chiba. Franco's happy, isn't he? Franco's nailing it. What's going on with Yuki? Oh, Yuki dropping like a stone. What's going on? Yuki Tsunoda has himself an issue. All the way down into 6 deep. What's going on there? Let's have a look at how he's lapping now. 22.0 is the gap. Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda has an issue. He's dropping like a stone still, isn't he? Lewis Hamilton nails him. What's going on with Yuki? Bad luck, Yuki. Somebody's jinxed Yuki Tsunoda. This isn't no fair, Yuki Tsunoda. You know what I mean? Man competing for a spot at Red Bull Racing as we see the replay of the start got damage. Stroll and Yuki potentially. Yeah, checker. Max was not yielding at turn 2 at all. Everything what Lando Norris needs as far as his aggression and his ability to be clinical in the overtake and throughout the various different circumstances that arise over the course of a race weekend. Everything that Max Verstappen has and is everything what Lando Norris needs and doesn't have. That yellow. Can you imagine Max Verstappen backing out during that yellow flag? What? So he doesn't make it through to Q2 when he's fighting for a championship. Yeah, of course, mate. Oh, Lance Stroll. Oh, it's ambitious, Lance. You're always going to get tagged. That was a gap that was always going to close, Lance Stroll. Do you know what I mean? I know it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other as far as culpability. So no, they did close the door on you, but were you sufficiently alongside Lance Stroll to have warranted racing room? That's the question. Yeah, correct, Karan Chanduk. You do need a lot of cooperation. He's insane, isn't he, Macon? He drives entitled, just like he is outside the cockpit. Do you know what I mean? Stroll demonstrating what he'll do in a new car. Adrian Newey won't stand for that wastefulness, that level of mechanical empathy or lack thereof. Like Lance Stroll won't stand for that. Up. Oscar Piastri. Go on, Oscar. Well within DRS now. Mate, this is a palaver. 0.9. Charles Leclerc is rapid round here. He's a Baku specialist, isn't he? It's not dissimilar to Checo Perez. From Charles Leclerc's perspective, you wish that we had 24 races on the calendar that were all around Baku. Then it'd be a completely different story, wouldn't it, for Charles? But he was very good yesterday, I can't lie. 0.8 is the difference. He needs to say, this is the battle now between Charles Leclerc, who's just gone purple, and Oscar Jack Piastri. They need to, look at that. That's noticeable. 0.6 is the delta. Oscar's not letting this go, is he? I think Oscar's keen, more keen now than ever, to demonstrate why McLaren messed up as far as their team order thing. It's a good weekend for it, isn't it? Really, bloody Dora. I don't disagree with their team orders. I'll be honest with you. Do you want to win a championship or don't you? Are you prepared to do what is necessary? Techie. Yuki Noisano retiring. Piastri's killing it, isn't he? Bloody Nora. 0.7. What's the delta? 1.3. All right, Piastri's going to... All right, so Max 2's going to have to up the pace, lest he wish to fall back into the clause, the DRS clause of one King George Russell of Kings Lynn Norfolk, first of his name. 1.4 is the difference, as we are 46 laps remaining till we get ourselves a cheeky checkered flag. Lewis tyres 150.3, 25 seconds. Their line is stern, isn't it? Lando, how are the tyres? Yep, they feel all right at the minute, says Lando. What's Lance saying? Oh, stop moaning, Lance Stroll. Sonoda closed the door on me, blah, blah, blah. I've had enough. $319 if you're watching. Kokoni, do me a favour and smash the like. Piastri is indeed assassin. Sorry, I had to mute the mic very briefly, Grant. It's a good shout there. Thank you for the cheeky reminder. Hey, brother, keep doing Watchalong. So nice when you can't watch at work, but you got someone. I want to be your eyes and ears, but I need to improve. Super Ben Wong, do you know what I mean? Lap 7. Currently, your runners and riders. Leclerc, Piastri, for those of you who are using me as your eyes and ears. Charles Leclerc currently leading. 1.7 seconds adrift is Oscar Jack Piastri. And again, that DRS story, the back and forth is critical. Now 1.9. Oh, the humanity. Charles Leclerc has the whip hand. Checo Perez nailing it currently in third. Your final step of the podium. Behind him, Carlos Sainz Jr. in fourth. Maximilian Verstappen in fifth. George Russell, first of his name, in sixth. 9.7 seconds behind the race lead. Alonso, Colapinto, Alex Albon and Ollie Behrman seat out your point scoring positions. Other notable mentions worthy of note items. Lando Norris already up into 11th on the hard set of tyres. Lewis Hamilton having started from the pit already up into 15th. Let's go. Lewis Hamilton on the mediums though. I don't know how I feel about that. Franco Colapinto over the mic. Oh, Franco Colapinto saying, let me know when you want me to put him under pressure. Who's he talking about? None other than Fernando Plan Alonso, man from Oviedo Astoria. What do you mean? That, ladies and gents, is chaos. Colapinto is still ahead of Alex Albon, his teammate, by the way. And that's the first qualification since Alex Albon has been a Williams driver when he's been beaten by his teammate. Latifi never managed it. Logan Sargent didn't either, which makes you think that might be an astute decision to put Franco Colapinto in that car. Lando Norris up into 10th. Let's go, Lando. 20 seconds off the lead. However, he's going to need himself a cheeky safety car, isn't he? 60% chance of getting one, but he needs one to happen at the right time for him, doesn't he, Lando? Oof, just getting a cheeky look. Don't hate that move by Lando on Ollie. Do not hate it at all. Very sexy. He's in a bit of a groove, is Lando. It makes me rue what this race could have been had Lando not bloody thrown in the white towel at the first sign of a half yellow flag that should have been a white flag. Do you know what I mean? Norris loves driving from the back, I see. No positions lost. Well, I wouldn't give him so much credit, Sedan. Obviously, he's got to keep his nose clean. But he's probably got a second, probably more than a second per lap on these guys around him at the moment. He's out of position. How do you like your Formula One? Says, bruh. Behrman chasing down Norris. Nah, he did a Michael Schumacher thing, didn't he? Wanted to say, he wanted to show himself in Lando's mirrors just to act as if there is clear and present danger where there was nothing of the sort. Currently, your runners and riders, Charles Leclerc, 2.3 seconds, 2.4 even as nearest makes the difference down the road from Oscar Jack Piastri, Perez in third, Carlos Sainz in fourth. Thereafter, you have Verstappen, Russell. Verstappen making that critical manoeuvre on George Russell like he did a couple of races back, because again, nobody wants to see George Russell in front of them as a sleeping policeman, stumbling buck per se. Fernando Alonso getting caught by one Franco Colapinto, again, nearly within DRS. I think a plastic bag just went in the left-hand side of the box, says George Russell. A firm will keep an eye on it. Oh, the humanities. George Russell going to get more bad luck. That would not be a good thing, would it? If indeed you are George Russell, more bad luck, maybe. That is a bit of a worry for George Russell, says Harry Benjamin. All eyes on the delta, the lap times of George Russell to see whether he's going to be affected by reliability. Nothing, no sign just yet. Although Ollie's trying to make use of this DRS, isn't he? Whilst he has it, although he doesn't have it anymore. 2 seconds is the delta between rookie Ollie Behrman, second time only in an F1 car. But again, look how he's putting Hulkenberg under man. It's Ollie Behrman in 11th, Hulkenberg in 12th. What is going on there? And Nico Hulkenberg, for the avoidance of doubt, is no slouch. 43 laps remaining. This is simmering. Hasn't quite come to the surface just yet, but there are stakes. And again, it's tyre offset. Lando Norris is on the hard, looking to one stop. Oof. Charles Leclerc on the mediums. This is going to get techie. Charles Leclerc. Lando Norris has got some clean air in front of him before he hits. Lando Norris over the radio. He asked. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. Lando getting the hurry up. Not the hurry up, but the encouragement from his race engineer, saying that thermal deg is what you need to be concerned about, mate. But as far as you handling these tyres, you're doing better than the other car. By other car, of course, Lando Norris' race engineer is referring to Oscar Jack Piastri. Us and them. One team, one dream. Papaya rules, any. What? How come those things have faded to black even? This is techie. 2 stop for mediums will be lap 11. And we are currently on lap 10, so they're indicating potentially if you start to see people stopping from mediums to another set of mediums potentially, or another set of hards, depending on how you phase your 2 stop, then you'd expect them over the next couple of laps. All eyes on the leaderboard to see who pits. And again, oof. Who's that? Do not hate that. Hulkenberg, let's go. Nico Hulkenberg on Ollie Behrman. Breaks my heart that. I thought Ollie Behrman was going to defeat one and they're on the same set of tyres. But again, Hulkenberg's a grizzled F1 vet. He's been around. This is not Hulkenberg's first rodeo. Ergo, I'm not sure you would... you can't expect Ollie Behrman to beat Hulkenberg. You know what I mean? That he beat him in qualifying is worthy of note. But he's never going to beat Hulkenberg in a race. Hulkenberg is nobody's slouch. I know he gets a bad rap, no podium positions, yada, yada, yada. Seems like it's a tight field. This could easily be a great race. The problem is, mate, on it, if we see reversion to the mean, then expect a lot of DRS trains, you know what I mean? Only Lando, who was out of position, courtesy of his poor decision-making during qualifying, Sauber switchover. It's only Lando that's nailing it right. Everybody's line astern. Surprised no yellow or red flags yet. Too premature, EC. Imminently, I think. Remember, the odds of a cheeky safety car, 69%. I have 0 bite in the car. So Verstappen yesterday was complaining about it being too oversteering. Now he's saying that the front end's not biting. Bloody Noramax. What is going on? Oh, Colapinto in the pits, indicating a 2-stop. Lando getting told that the medium is not graining yet. If anything, you're suffering from thermal dead. That's an old message that we've heard. Oof. 3.4 seconds is the gap to Charles Leclerc. That's manageable. Piastri's still in this, but do you know what I mean? It's looking more and more like Charles Leclerc's race to lose by the second. Colapinto comes into the pits. Very sexy pit stop from Williams. who are prone to a cheeky strategic error, operational error. So poor is their infrastructure. Lest we forget Logan Sargent stacking the car, or Alex Albon even stacking the car and then having to, and then them imposing on Logan to give his iteration of that Williams machine to Alex Albon, notwithstanding the fact that he wasn't the one to yeet it. Mention no names. Alex Albon being sent out with a cooler, a bright yellow cooler on his car, and nobody noticed. They're a bit susceptible, aren't they, Williams? Joke of the grid, some may say. Runners and riders, Charles Leclerc dominating this race, just as he did qualifying, 3.6 seconds down the road. I'm gutted. You know, I'll be honest, I'm really upset for this race that Lando Norris didn't do what he was supposed to do in qualifying. I'll be honest. Max is on Baku 2023 settings, mate. The line in my money's still on our Madagascar Ferrari P1, says Michael. Yeah, well, hold your horses, Michael. Still a lot of racing to be done. Look at this. 40 laps left in this 51-lap race. Set to go 90 minutes, I think, as did 2023's Baku Grand Prix. Chiba, it really shows how slow... I know... Logan must be looking at this being like, you know what, I gave you my best, but ultimately, it's the conversation. Oof, oof. Look at Lewis through there. Holy smoke. Piastri, okay, so McLaren will push in the undercut potentially on Charles Leclerc, but again, fresh of the mind is Charles Leclerc's long stint, his tyre whisperer settings that ultimately won him the Italian Grand Prix. So you got to factor in, when's the safety car going to happen? If indeed it's going to happen, 70% of the time we get ourselves a safety car. So you want to bake that into your strategy. So I reckon most of these lot will go long in anticipation that there might be a safety car at any time now, during which they can take advantage of a discounted pit stop as far as the time that it cost them. Williams really upgraded with Franco. No kidding, Sherlock. You've nailed it. Benzi news, absolutely. Nate Lando might get P3 today. Bloody Nora, that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad, but he's still got to get past Max, hasn't he? That would be techie for him to get up there. I think, well, he's in 8th already. Oh, mate, it's a crying shake. Can you imagine Lando and Shah going head to head for first and second? A whining sound from car number 1. GM to my favourite Charles Dauter. Listen, we've got to shoot straight over here, Joe. Do you know what I mean? Not saying that he's not a brilliant driver and that his potential as far as its upside. If we're talking Charles Leclerc, box from Max Verstappen. What does this mean for Max's race? Lap 13, 2 stopping from Max Verstappen, therefore. Yeah, no, this isn't me saying that. I listen, he's not a bad driver. He's Charles Leclerc. He's bloody fast, point to point, probably the quickest on the grid. But I describe him as a single race merchant of late. What do I mean by that? That he's consistently... Oh no, slow pit stop for Max Verstappen. 3.1. What was that? The rear right struggled. Oh no. Go on then, all eyes on George. Long stop from George as well, 3 point something, 3.6. Oh, the humanity. Well, I don't know about that, Current. Chandler said that's a bit of a surprise from Red Bull since they've been so on the money as far as their operational efficacy this year. And I'm not sure. I don't think there's been I think they've been uncharacteristically poor. Couple dodgy. I mean, Austria. You know what I mean? Austria is reminiscent of Monza in 2021. Both McLaren and Red Bull made dodgy pit stops, and but for those, Max Verstappen might have been down the road. Amazing how much the Ferrari's gapping Oscar. Lewis inherits that car. No, can you imagine, James? That's not a bad plot line, to be fair. Imagine if Adrian Newey was, oh God, what might have been. 3 point sucks for Lewis Hamilton. What happened to Sonoda? I think he had a puncture. He had damage coming together with Lance Stroll on lap 1. So he dropped like a stone. Bad timing for Max, maybe. Yeah, well, the pit stop wasn't ideal. Red Bull might have made a mistake bringing him in so early. Well, I think they had to try something. Got to try a cheeky undercut. I cannot remember how powerful or otherwise the undercut is around here. But again, I think they've done they're looking to do a two-stopper. Again, this is recency bias, right? All these teams would have been looking at Monza and Charles Leclerc. And the one-stopper all of a sudden becomes a much more viable proposition as far as strategy around the next couple of Grand Prix. Why? Because recency bias is 100% a thing as far as cognitive dissonance / biases. 100%. It's a good shout. It's a good shout from Karan Chanduk. So what they're looking at now is Checo Perez's lap time as versus Oscar Piastri. Checo Perez on his foot. This is out lap, right? 149.1 last lap from Oscar Jack Piastri. Checo Perez. Let's see how he fares now. Oscar Piastri over the radio. Is he struggling on tyres? I know he says his tyres are genuinely okay, but his front right's starting to struggle a little bit. Oscar Piastri. 1.4. No, he's not undercut just yet. 1.5. Oh my gosh. Checo Perez eating into that. Checo Perez last lap is going to be rapid. Look at that. 1.4 seconds is how much Oscar Jack. Oh my gosh. Every time they refresh the bloody metric, Oscar Jack Piastri loses an extra half a second. So they've got to pit him now. If you're going to do the same strategy as Checo, oh my gosh, 1 second. Oh my gosh, McLaren need to do a different strategy now. Either you pit, if you're going to do the same strat as Checo for Oscar Jack, then what's going on here? Pit him. Are they going to pit him? Where is he? Oh, sexy from George Russell there. Is Oscar in the pits? They're not pitting him, are they? Oh, the humanity. Sacrificial lamb settings. Unless Oscar Jack is going to go long again. Remember, a one-stopper won it last race, didn't it? So, I think... Oh my gosh. Lando. Oh my gosh. Oscar being told. Lando being told. Oh my gosh. Lando being told to back up Checo Perez. This is chaos, ladies and gents. Oscar goes in the pits. So Lando is being a team player and holding up Checo. No way, ladies and gents. So Lando Norris is the balancing figure now. That is chaos. Oh my gosh. Checo realises that Lando Norris is sandbagging massively with a view to let Piastri pit. Piastri in the pits now. Coming out. Can he make it in front of... Oh my God. This is chaos. Oh, there we go. Checo just about to go round. Wow, he might have cost him though. Where's Piastri coming out? Where is Piastri coming out? Does he make it ahead of Checo? He does. Oh my gosh. That is chaos. Yeah, McLaren, will the real papaya coloured team please step up therefore? That's F1, ladies and gents. That's what you're supposed to do. It's skullduggery and it's utilising resources and it's optimising for your chances of winning races and championships. It feels like McLaren have learned. Props to them. Don't hate that. Lando Norris has just gained his tip. Well, so now Lando Norris definitely is owed favours by both Oscar Piastri and the teams. You know what I mean? You couldn't pay me to be a team player for McLaren. I mean, you know what I would be like? In my mind, if I was Lando, I'd be like, it's a flipping cheat. But Lando doesn't lose too much net. Do you know what I mean? Great job by Lando. Seems to have... That was genius. I thoroughly enjoyed that, ladies and gents. Why? Because it's skullduggery in F1 at its best, as we get a replay of Lance Stroll with his very optimistic dive bomb up the inside of one Yuki Tsunoda. Come on. What do we do with Lance Stroll? You've been watching too much tapes of Esteban Ocon on Pierre Gasly at Monaco going into the tunnel, haven't you? It's the same move and it's the same outcome in the end, are coming together. Bloody these turn one, or these lap one merchants even. Oof, comfortable. Charles Leclerc into the pits now. Proper squeaky ting. No, Delani, it's techie that. I really enjoyed that. I can't even lie. Daniel, you're a legend. Daniel, I need to do you a favour here. Daniel, a legend, sir. Well deserved. Bloody Nora. No, I thoroughly enjoyed that. 358 of you watching Coca-Cola. Do me a favour and smash the like. As we are, mate. How do you like your F1? There's McLaren being McLaren. That's McLaren. That's McLaren from like the late 80s, right? 89 with Senna, but that's what you're supposed to do. Operate at that level. Skullduggery settings. That's what this is. Flipping Nora. Michael Schumacher 2000, 2004, 97, 94. Do you know what I mean? There is no F1 without skullduggery and cloaks and daggers. Currently in the lead, not effective lead. Carlos Sainz mediums not having pitted. So Carlos Sainz, expect him to run long and he's gonna try and make those tyres last right all the way through to lap 31 and then pit for, or 21 even, pit for Haas and then let those go to the end. Carlos Sainz will be a joker here or try something different because he knows, he'll be acutely aware that there's no beating one Charles Leclerc around here on pace. He said as much in the post-quali presser, didn't he, Carlos? He said, listen, quite lucky that we got Charles and it's Baku in our team. Do you know what I mean? Leo Messi settings in the false nine. Do you know what I mean? Currently runners and riders. Carlos Sainz comes into the pit from the lead. Oscar Piastri nails himself. Alex Albon, who's out of position now. Bloody Nora. Oh, this is chaos. Oh, the humanity. Go on then, runners and riders. Carlos Sainz has dropped into the pit, comes back out in sixth. Runners and riders, currently in your race lead. Charles Leclerc on hards to Piastri to Albon. Gap between the top two, 1.2 seconds. Alex Albon out of position, but again, potentially going long. Perez, Norris up into fifth. Holy smokes. What would it have been but for that noddy performance, say? So Norris now in front of Maximilian Verstappen. Oh, the humanity. This is chaos. Russell, Alonso, Gasly, Colapinto, Danny Rick, bloody techie from Perez there. Pushing his luck. Perez will be fuming. He'll feel sabotaged like a woman scorned, right? On the back of that, him being cost the place. And he'll be having a word with his team. Why did I go and get those coaching sessions by Rob Wilson in a sports car at Silverstone? For me to get sabotaged by Lando Norris. Did you not factor that in, Miss Hannah Schmidt? Like, surely, you've got to consider these things. Bloody Nora, Lewis Hamilton. That, they're running that car very low, aren't they? If I'm a scrutineer, look at the sparks just flying off Lewis Hamilton's car. If I'm a scrutineer, the first car that I'm checking is Lewis Hamilton's. Show me that plankware straight after this race. He's sparking everywhere. Now, I know they changed the setup, but can Ferrari make the strategy work, Daniel? Oh, I don't know. It's going to get techie towards the end of this race, I'm telling you. Carlos Sainz. So he pitted 17. I just don't know. Can Carlos Sainz make the one-stop work is the more pertinent point. I think the rest will be two-stopping. Can Carlos Sainz go 33 laps on hard? Potentially. He's going to have to try. I mean, Charles did it last race. The point is, though, whether, not just a tyre deg question, but could it be quick enough, notwithstanding the tyre deg and thermal wear? That's going to be the issue. 394 of you watching Kokoli. Do me a favour and smash it like P15 ham. Oh, no. This doesn't have the car underneath him, does he? Meanwhile, his teammate, King George Russell, first of his name, riding high in 8th position, having lost himself 3 positions off the grid. It feels a weird one. Oh, listen, I spoke to Baxley the Shakedown pre-race about this. Why, if he qualified in 7th? Why would you I just don't get it. Anyway, this is Mercedes. at the helm of the boy, Toto the Boy Who Cried Wolf. The gap between your top two in Charles Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Alesi, and one Oscar Jack, 0.875, well within DRS now. It will be interesting to see how they through the middle sector. Charles clipping on recharge settings. Again, he's desperate to break that DRS, isn't he, Charles? But he's struggling ever so slightly now today. F1 is on fire, says Marshall. Science need to level up. I know, but Science is going long. Ever so you Ave. I hope I'm saying your name. Ava. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Correct me. Coyote, the legend that is. I'm going to have to rewatch this race from the beginning to catch up on the drama. Cam's excitement is out there. You know, it is Coyote. I enjoyed that from McLaren. I really enjoyed that score. Reminiscent of ye old Carlos Sainz Jr. at Singapore last year, using Lando as a sleeping policeman, eh? Oscar Piastri on DRS, eh? You seeing this? You seeing this, chat? Oscar Piastri! Oh my God! Oscar Piastri's done it! Yeah. What's going on now? Charles Leclerc wants to have a cheeky nibble back. Not got the speed. How weird is this? As soon as they put on the hard tyres from the mediums, it's completely, all of a sudden, Oscar Piastri's got pace to keep up with Charles. Oscar Jack Piastri doing his best to negate the DRS, doing the weaving thing, reminiscent of Max Verstappen on the final lap of Abu Dhabi 21, right? Although Oscar Piastri's clipping now, having used up all of his charge. Bloody Nora. Oscar Piastri has the lead of the race. Oof. Oscar Piastri doesn't care. Reminiscent of Danny Rick when he first came into F1, right? Lasted for late breakers each and every single time. Dive bomb setting. Didn't even look like he was on. Look how far back he is. Catches them by surprise. Bloody Nora. And then keeps it on the black stuff. Bravo. Bravo, Oscar Jack. Do you know what I mean? State your claim for #1 driver status. Bloody Nora. Look how far wide he goes. And look at his defence as well. Oh, how do you like your F1, ladies and gents? Oscar Jack Piastri, not a bad peddler, him. Do you know what I mean? Some say, I was listening to a podcast, the race podcast. Will Buxton said this might be the race where they switch positions. Bloody Nora. Oh my goodness. Well, Lando's got some work to do first. Lando's got, this is chaos. Lando's got to get round, so Albon won't be a problem, but Lando's right in there, isn't he? Oh my God. I'm struggling to compete. So that, all right, so look. Oh my gosh, Charles Leclerc out, looking to have another nibble back. No, he hasn't got it. 0.5. Oscar didn't even move. Not even caring. Oscar Piastri just wants to get from A to B in the quickest time possible. Sack off defending this modern day Jean Alesi chap. 0.7 is your diff. Oscar Piastri is gapping one. Charles Leclerc, Mr. Modern Day Jean Alesi, who's been incredible, by the way, this weekend. I should put some respect on his name. Oscar Jack Gold Scotch. Dirty. What do you mean? Those little subtleties, you know. I love the way he didn't move to defend. What am I moving to defend? That's extra lap time that I can use as at now as we get. Look at Lewis having a speculative. See the difference. 0.8 is the difference between your race lead in his second place in Oscar Jack Piastri. Your runners and riders, they're running. Checo Perez taking up third. Albon in fourth. Norris in fifth. Sainz, Verstappen, George Russell, Alonso, Colapinto. Thereafter, Gasly in 11th. Hulkenberg, Ricardo, Behrman, Hamilton, Zhou Guanyu, Ocon and Stroll and Bottas. Your only retirement thus far is one Yuki Tsunoda. 416 of you watching. Cam, why did the graphic not change? Did the graphic not change? Are you not seeing? I'm hoping that the graphics are still changing. The graphic is changing. You can see, listen, if the graphic's a bit dodgy, you can see from the, I'm struggling a little bit, says Lando. Okay, mate, the pace might feel rubbish, but you're doing a really good job. Again, this is morale time. Keep Lando Norris's morale up, isn't it? 7.6 seconds he's off the lead, having gained himself to... Not a bad drive from Lando Norris, let's be honest. As far as his soft, vulnerable underbelly, as far as his mental fortitude or lack thereof, the equal and opposite as far as his upside is that he's just not a bad driver. Get him in the car and sack off all these different circumstances and he's brilliant. Lando Norris up into 5th. Sainz in 6th. What the hell is going on? Although Carlos Sainz fancies himself right. Why Carlos Sainz? I know Carlos Sainz has pace at the moment, but he's got to manage. What Carlos Sainz doesn't need to do, they're pushing like crazy, or they have more grip than us. Bloody Nora. Leclerc being told to keep those tyres front and centre of your mind, Charles, just as we did at the Italian Grand Prix last time out. Do you know what I mean? That's going to come into play. 0.9 is the diff between Oscar Jack Piastri and Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is concerned at the pace of Oscar Jack. Flipping Nora. This is chaos. Oh my gosh. What is going on? All right, so the best have been Charles, Piastri, Perez, Albon. Great race thus far. You're no kidding, Daniel. It's not been half bad. Look at. I look like the cat that got the cream. The bloody smile on my face. Hopefully Oscar wins with Checo on the podium and Max a few places behind. James, I would have put Lando will be in there somewhere, right? I know he's Carlos dejected. Yeah, he hasn't got pace. Just hasn't got the pace. Battery level Leclerc. Wow. So Leclerc's got battery level in hand, 20%. Oscar, though, is going for it, man. Look at this. There is a total. Ooh, Oscar has no battery left, and the delta is 0.5. Charles is still within the beloved DRS zone, 0.5. Oh, he needed to. I see what Oscar's doing though. He used up all his energy to make sure that in the straight. Yeah, they're both charging now, aren't they? No, it's not Leclerc. Harry Benjamin, behave yourself. That's not Leclerc. That's Carlos Sainz on Lando Norris. Lando now struggling with tyres, isn't he? 9 seconds adrift is Lando Norris, but he's got to go long, has Lando. This strategy only works. What did we say? Lap 31 for hards. So we're lap 23 at the moment with 29 remaining to our checkered flag. Lando will know to make this work on the hards. Lando will need to go to circa lap 31. Oh, and then a set of Lando though struggling on tyres, man. Why? Because he had to keep bloody Checo Perez behind him. Sacrificial lamb settings as far as Lando Norris is concerned. Kyrie, are you Jamaican? Dream, yeah, dream. Checo in third proper. This race order is mad. Mad for true. Kyori, it's a bonkers. I've been a joke. Great race, yeah. Lord, we need new announcers. I know, Chi, but that was a bad mistake. You were just watching Charles Leclerc, for Pete's sake. Flip to the other angle, and how could... Yeah, no, it's not good. Harry had an opportunity here to make himself the pole sitter as far as commentators. That was a bad mistake. If Max gets 4th, will Red Bull have Checo? Of course, 100%. Tomako, 100%. Red Bull don't hesitate to leverage a bit of F1 score degree. Why would there be? Got to say with him and James, once Lando Norris pits, he'll be a long way down the field. This is true, but then a safety car. I think they're banking on safety car. That's why they're running him so long. In addition to the fact that it'll be one stopping. Lando should hold up Max. Nah, he's not on the hold up game again. Enough holding him. Good people of Cameron CC here. Like that. Jomo, you're a legend. Oof. Lando of the side of that. Oof. Oh my gosh, Lando defending to Lando. Sorry, Lando defending to Max. Oh yeah, right. He's gonna defend this. He's not gonna let him go. He needs Lando to make this. Oh my gosh, Austria payback. Any weaving around all sorts. Lando in defense, but do you know what I mean? Get your elbows out, Lando. It's a bit tricky. The stewards will be having a look at that, I suspect. But if it's time, then it's time. Do you know what I mean? This is for the championship now, Lando. Get your elbows out. Therefore, we are looking at the fight for the championship. Although on a microcosm level, it's Lando and Max for 6th position. I don't hate it though. 428 if you're watching Kakoti. Do me a favour, smash the like, please. We have us. It was dangerous, Jay. It was dangerous. You heard me say it was moving around. Max will be on the blower to GP, asking him what's going on. Put the protest in. Lewis told everything you can do to get the surface temp down. Lewis responds, I'm trying. This is bonkers, Eddie. Mate, it is a bit daft, isn't it? I'm loving it. Lando can have it both ways. What's Max doing? Mate, who had the mistake? Come on, producers. Show us what's going on. What's going on? Lando woke up. Bloody Nora, mate. Matt's complaining about his brakes, is he? Oh my goodness. Right, we've got racing. Fastest lap from Oscar Jack Piastri. 0.5 is the gap though, still. Bloody Nora. All this time Charles has been in DRS of Oscar Jack and not been able to do anything. Both of them are going for it. Oh, wow. Matt's saying that his brakes aren't working. What is going on? Charles Leclerc on the radio as well. 27 laps remaining. Charles being told to keep doing a good job on tyres. Charles concerned with the pace of Oscar Jack Piastri over the radio. Bloody Nora. Oh, wow. Max much happier in the hard tyres than he was the medium, says Ted Kravitz. Wow. Max Verstappen. I've just seen Max Verstappen cut the corner massively because his brakes aren't working properly. Gee, but oh my gosh. Kari, also me. I knew when he said dreamy, I dream. Yes, let's go. God, I love it. You guys in the chat representing. Little bot with Talawar and all them things. You know what I mean? Your video stream is already way behind on the data stream you are sharing, mate. I know, Jay. Not a lot I can do about it, mate. I apologise. You guys can sync up if you want, though. Use the... Yeah, not much I can do about that. Sorry, Jay. Also there to pick up the pieces again. Go on then, let's have a look. Always, George Russell. He's a scavenger of an F1 driver. On board with Max again, struggling with brakes. Desperate to get Lando that Norris is out the way. Green from Carlos Sainz. Your runners and riders currently Oscar Jack Piastri. And Leclerc is still in DRS. What is going on? How... Brakes are not working again. Max Verstappen says old message potentially. Runners and riders. Oscar Jack Piastri still has the whip hand as far as the Azerbaijan Grand Prix 2024. Currently leading one Charles Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Lazy, by 0.5 of a second. Ergo, Charles Leclerc has been in that DRS range but not been able to do anything because Oscar Jack Piastri is using his energy perfectly. Driving a peach of a race is the man from... Oh my gosh. Oh, here he goes. Oh, is that Max? Max is getting frustrated now, isn't he? He'll wanna get every lap that Lando can complete, holding up Max Verstappen. Again, imagine there's a safety car and look at the strategy. This helps Lando. And he's driving it. Both McLaren drivers are driving a peach, but again, I can't help but rue Lando Norris's mistake in qualifying yesterday, man. Don't come out of the throttle, Lando. It's yellows. You can see what's going on. Do as George Russell did in Q1. Wow. Every lap as well. It's the same. It's mirror image, right? Every lap that Piastri can keep Leclerc behind him in that dirty air, notwithstanding the fact that it's in the DRS. I think Charles might need to do something a bit clever here. Why does Charles back off? Should Charles be backing off out of that dirty air? With 25 laps left. Is he being too much of a racer? What lap do we expect Albon and Norris to box? 31. Oh my God, at least another 10 laps. What? Wow, is that how long they're going? Lap 30. Oh, they're gonna go and try and go as long as possible with a view to max out on the probability that there might be a safety car at some point. Remember, 69% is what the odds makers give as far as there being a safety car. Ergo, if they run this simulation 100 times, then 69 of those are going to have some safety car of some sort. EC, Charlie's where, yes, little boy with Tyler, yeah. Putting out the Jamaican flags. EC, Charlie's wearing Oscar down like a fox on a hunt. I don't know, EC. I don't think that's true, mate. There is a mechanical tax to be paid by Charles Leclerc. Maybe this is my confirmation bias speaking now. Anti-Charles Leclerc. How dare you call him modern day? Look, Charles in that dirty air is going to take a toll out of himself, the car more pertinently, and even more pertinently, the tyres. The dirty air is going to be hurting him now, right? Surely. I know he's a racer and he'll want that first position back. He'll be trying to put the pressure on Oscar Jack, isn't he? So that with a view to have Oscar Jack make a mistake. Please see 1994 Adelaide, as did Damon Hill then, to one Michael Schumacher. There is a thing as pressure, but I don't know. At some point, Charles, you've got to back off and come out of this dirty air, mate, and manage your tyres right with a view to come back later on. But Charles too much of a racer for that stuff. That 200 level IQ stuff. That's what you'd expect from an Alonso or a Lewis in his heyday. You know what I mean? Lando helping King George also, Cam. I'm not seeing that. Yeah, backing up Max into George. The skullduggery, eh? Both McLaren drivers, no getting round them. I think that McLaren is fast, you know, around here, is the truth. They couldn't, Piastri couldn't hold off Leclerc, nor could Lando hold off Max on those bloody 27 lap old tyres, unless that car were quick. It is rapid. Max having another look, making himself big in Lando Norris's wing mirrors for 6th place. Bloody Nora. And they need to get past, yeah, the trains. Reversion to mean, right? DRS train settings. But McLaren getting nervous. Oh, Oscar Piastri's pace dropping off a tad. But he's still 0.7 seconds ahead of Charles. There is a tax. It's almost like chicken and the egg, right? Can Oscar make, by virtue of his dirty air, Charles Leclerc's tyres drop off? Is the tax on Charles Leclerc's tyres? You excuse me. Bear with me. Hay fever settings and cold and all them things. It's mad. The gap between first and second's 0.5 seconds. Charles Leclerc is coming again, right? 433 of you watching concurrently as we have ourselves a race. How do you like your F1? EC says Charles need to keep up what he's doing. Oscar is a young bull in a china shop. He's going to smash his start. I don't know if he is, EC. Although EC, look at the, you might be right here. 0.3 is the difference. Oh, DRS settings. Oscar Jack doing the old, oh my gosh. Charles Leclerc around the outside. Oscar's not having that. Get out the way, says Oscar Piastri. Look how much Oscar is full send each and every single time. Not even a millimetre between margin left between him and the barrier on the exit of that turn. That is chaos, ladies and gents. Unbelievable. 0.7, mate. This is. How do you like your F1, eh? Albon actually helping Lando with that, though. This is true also. Singapore settings, Carlos Sainz Jr. and Lando Norris, eh? Yeah, DRS train. It's not good when it's like this DRS, although I'm loving the racing. I don't care. This reminds me of when Peter Windsor talks about sometimes you don't need overtaking every turn. If it's close, do you know what I mean? It's how do you like your F1? Sydney, Russell is under some serious unknown, mate. Hamilton, are you seeing how I have to drive this thing? Oh, behave yourself, Lewis, mate. Lewis, you should have started from 7th and been right in this nonsense decision to bloody start from the grid and think, come on, Lewis. Come on, Mercedes. What are we doing here? Lewis, all this racing going on, DRS, Alex Albon right in the mix in 5th, that Lando Norris going long through to lap 31 potentially, and the rest as he tries to take advantage of a discounted safety car pit stop. And Lewis Hamilton sat down there in 14th. Mate, it's not Lewis's fault really, I don't think, but bloody Nora. Where's Hamilton down there in 14th, Eddie? I know it's not a good look. King George right in there fighting. And I'd love to see it. Missed opportunity this Grand Prix, as good as it's been. Bloody Nora. Charles on Oscar again. 0.5. What is going on here? Charles just can't get around him, eh? He's got to be careful as Charles here. As has Oscar. But I just think there's a greater tax to be paid by Charles, aka modern day Journalese, by being in the dirty air of the race lead. 0.757 is the delta between first and second. Oscar Jack and modern day Journalese respectively. Perez in 3rd, Sainz 4th, Alex Albon in 5th, In 6th, you've got Lando Norris going long on those hard tyres. 29 laps old now with 22 laps remaining. Oh, the humanity. Max Verstappen. Again, Max Verstappen still trying to have a nibble at Lando, but I'm not sure there's a point, right? Surely at this point, Max needs to do what Charles needs to do and back out of the dirty air. But these guys are racing now and it's too, you know what I mean? In for a penny, in for a pound. Going for it. 483 if you're watching concurrently. Do me a favour and smash a like. Corey says, I'm wondering what happened to him at the beginning of the race. I have to watch back. Look, what happened to Lewis Coyori? To summarise, Lewis started from the pit. Why? Because they broke Part Ferme rules. They introduced another power unit into the equation and they tinkered with his setup post qualifying. They deemed that there were more upside to doing that than there was to notwithstanding the fact that he was going to start in 7th. I think it was a bad decision. I think George Russell is showing us. Lando Norris saying he's got a pace advantage, talking about Alex Albon, that he can't get close to him. Why? Well, because Alex Albon is driving a Williams, and that Williams is nothing if not slippery in a straight line, right? Super difficult. Charles Leclerc having a cheeky nibble down the outside of Oscar Jack Piastri, but nothing doing. These lot are having an energy race, aren't they? This is the ERS battle. Again, any one of you guys that have played the game will know what I'm talking about here. They're just using ERS to attack and defend. It's going to get techie here. Oh, Norris being told stay out. Bloody Nora, stay out. He does need to round Albon, but Albon's too quick in a straight line, isn't he? He's got that maximal velocity. That's why he's so quick through the speed trap. Save up some ERS, Lando, and then try and make your way. This is hurting Lando though, eh? Although he's still ahead of Max Verstappen, but he's still got to pit. Oh wow, Lando told if he pits now, then he'll come out behind Hulkenberg. He needs himself a safety car, right? Although Lando's struggling for tyres at the moment. Kiss my teeth, says no, Norris can't get past Albon, and I love it. Oh, Daniel, oh, the humanity. Lando is going so well as well. Now he needs to put on his big boy shorts, doesn't he, and do something. Championship material. Red Bull will do him dirty as always. SLH is racing as a non-interested driver today. Well, I mean, he's got to put his foot down and tell Mercedes to stop the nonsense, right? The fooliness. Stop it. Leave me in 7th. I mean, 7th. It could be right in this fight, but again, whatever. EC, yep, definitely. I bet Hamilton is driving slow on purpose, right? No, I just don't think he's. I think there's something to be said for Lewis. You gain 20, and you can criticise him if you want about this, but there's upside and downside, right, Eddie? Like if it's Lewis and it's 25 points, then you're going to get an additional 25% out from. Lest we forget that he is 7-time champion. Lewis doesn't get out of bed for less than 25 points these days. You know what I mean? And you can leverage that as a criticism if you want, or. Albon in the pits. Lando Norris freed up. So too Max Verstappen though. Now they've got some clear air in front of them, haven't they? 20 laps remaining. 32 gone in the books. Current runners and riders. Bloody Nora. Oh my God, Harry Benjamin. You mistake Checo Perez for Max Verstappen again. Fucking hell, mate. Excuse my language, but I'm getting a bit frustrated at Harry Benjamin. What's he doing? 504 if you're watching concurrently, do me a favour and smash the like. Go away, Harry Benjamin. That's two mistakes too many now. And the first one was worse than the second. How are you watching Charles Leclerc in one shot? Lando told this is our time. Lando needs to make something work now. And then if he gets himself a cheeky safety car, then he's Gucci, eh? He's Lewis tyres are overheating. He's been lifted and coasting to cool them. Good shout. Chiba Franco in the points. Mate. Franco Colapinto in 9th. Ahead of Alex Albon. If he can keep that, then he's making a name for himself. Teams will be biting off his hand for him to join them as soon as 2025 is in the books, right? But 2026, Colapinto will be there or thereabouts. Bloody Nora. Runners and riders. Piastri. Oh my gosh. Charles Leclerc having another go again. Oh no! 0.3 is the delta. Big DRS. Mate, if you doubted for a second Oscar Jack Piastri's minerals, then you can't doubt anymore. This. Oh my God, look how close he is. Leaving no time on the table. Oscar Jack Piastri. I think this might be Perez now coming into play. Look at that. Oh, no. So now in that 3, Oscar Jack is the only one who doesn't have DRS. Perez 1.3 seconds adrift of the race lead. This is chaos, ladies and gents. How do you like your F1, eh? Stakes, racing, uncertainty, strategy offsets. Do me a favour and smash the like. Interesting, Max can't catch up. Checo given. Max is worth 0.5 seconds a lap in the same car. I know, but he's struggling, isn't he? I have no rear grip in the car. The car's just jumping. Rear losing contact. Instability at the rear again for Max Verstappen. He complained about it post-qualifying. I don't think he's got the car underneath him. Oh, wow. Good shout from Crunchanduk. That Oscar needs to leverage an onrushing Mexican Minister of Defense in Checo Perez to distract bloody Norris. He's a bit good, is Oscar. He's a bit good, is Oscar. As brilliant as Charles is, I mean, DDF1 maths. Charles has himself DRS, and he hasn't had a proper whiff at Oscar. Oscar tried his move once, and he executed for it once. He only needed one bite at that Charles Leclerc cherry, didn't he? Just nailed him. Max is not happy camper today. Yeah, he hasn't got the car. Cameron, what was the last time Checo outright? I know. Ages, mate. Checo looks quick today. Doesn't have the car. He's not loving the... He's not loving it. Corey Harry voice sounds exactly like Jack. I know. I get confused, but he does it. I'll tell you how you know it's Harry Benjamin and not Jake's. No, because Jake's doesn't make those mistakes, does he? That's 2 mistakes in one race. Oof. Wow. George Russell on Max Verstappen. Wow. Wow. Max Verstappen. Jeez. Nightmare settings for Max Verstappen, this. Just doesn't have the car. 7th for Verstappen. Bloody no. Come on, Leclerc, please. Michael. You're seeing a masterclass from Oscar Jack, I think. Cameron, Jomo, you're an absolute legend. 7th for Verstappen. Right, you runners and riders with 18 laps remaining. Lando Norris has gone long on those tyres, hasn't he? If Lando Norris gets himself a cheeky safety car in the next few laps, oh, the humanity. And again, remember, odds makers, the F1 actuarial suggest that there's 69% chance of a safety car at some point during this race. Those odds calculated it before a wheel was turned. Bloody not. Look how easy that was from George. My gosh. Max Verstappen will not be liking that. George can finish 5th. Smart Max. Let George go to Norris. Yeah, it's a good shot. Well, I don't know. I just don't know. Lando holding Max short. Nate, this is working out for Lando. It's all chaos. How did Rush just easy? Max doesn't have the wheels underneath him, is the truth. 2000 IQ from Max to let Russell go so that he can attack Lando. It's a good shout, actually. I get it. It's a good shot. Every time Lewis is ready to jump Behrman, his car is overheating. He's struggling. All right. Piastri on the radio. Wow. Leclerc's tyres look worse than yours. At the rear, slightly better on the fronts. Bloody Nora. How's Oscar done this, eh? Still Leclerc is within DRS. Oscar Jacques Piastri has had not a whiff of DRS and he's fighting off behind him. The quickest driver point to point currently on the grid. Worthy of note. If you like yourself some greatness, I think we are seeing some. I think we are seeing some with Oscar Jacques Piastri here. There was a rumour. I listened to a podcast. I'll tell you, that probably as good a time as any for me to tell you this. There was a podcast that the race with Will Buxton. Will Buxton was talking about why McLaren have been so hesitant season to date to declare Lando Norris as their number 1 driver. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why. Because Oscar Jacques Piastri, they think, some say, his ceiling is higher than Lando Norris's. I don't think Oscar Jacques Piastri, with that yellow flag circumstance in Q1, I don't think Oscar Jacques Piastri, he would have qualified for Q2. He wouldn't have backed out as Lando Norris did. Not as much anyway. He would have made sure that he got through to Q2. And this is the problem for Lando Norris. When Zach Brown and Andrea Stella look at a driver that they're going to back, not just for this year, but for the longer term, medium to long term, then surely that chap has a name, and that chap's name is Oscar Jack Piastri. Do you know what I mean? YouTube mugs, not for letting my super chat. Oh, Delaney, that's chaos. I'm so sorry. It's a chaos. It is far too chaotic. Tell me how Ali Behrman in-house is holding up the greatest driver in the world who has a way faster car. Does he have a way faster car though, Eddie? Eddie, let me debunk that myth ever so slightly. As we're looking at fighting between Charles Leclerc and Oscar Jack Piastri again. Let me debunk that myth. You can see the DRS train that's developing up and down. Come on, Charles, keep it up. Charles Leclerc motivation settings, isn't it? Holy smoke. So yeah, I don't think he's got a faster car. It's Baku, Eddie. Come on, Eddie, be sensible, sir. You know what I mean? This is great racing, Sydney. I'm loving it. Oscar has a longer incubation period in F1 as a whole. Yeah. Well, he's less experienced than Lando, isn't he? This is techie personal best on all the tyres. Cam, how is McLaren doing this? They're better. They're always better towards the latter stages of their stint, aren't they? That McLaren. Just something about that car, it just lends itself. They always say this on the broadcast when Lando's racing Max, that somehow that Red Bull can turn on its tyres quicker earlier on in the stint than can McLaren. But towards the end of the stint, that car's always rapid. Something about it in the way it handles its tyres. This is just the way that the respective machines handle and enact their type. Bloody Nora, Charles Leclerc, mate. Chill out, Charles. This is not Fast and Furious, and your name is not Suchia, aka Drift King. Big, in fact, reminiscent of Max Verstappen in qualifying, right? It's the same place, same oversteer moment. Charles Leclerc, props to him. Some say modern day Jean lazy, but he's done very well to correct that. Box opposite McLaren. Box opposite McLaren. Charles Leclerc gets told dummy call. Oh. Gamesmanship. Box opposite Michelle. Do what he doesn't do is what Charles Leclerc's just been told by Brian Bozzi, his race engineer. Hit the like kids 500, but I know 519 in the chat. Let's go. This is, how do you like your F1, Delaney? Do you know what I mean? Sidney Behrman. Oh, this is chaos. Charles Leclerc is drifting. Fast and Furious setting. 577 of you in the chat. We've got ourselves a race on our hands. 37 laps deep. 15 remaining. Currently, it's the fight. The narrative is the fight between Oscar Jack Piastri and Leclerc. Leclerc has been within DRS of Oscar Piastri every lap of this second stint. I want to say they stopped around lap 20-something. That's a lot of laps. Oscar Jack Piastri, in fact, that's a lie. Oscar Jack Piastri made the move, didn't he, first? And now he's been fending off Charles Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Lazy, ever since. Put some respect on that chap's name. It all makes sense. Will Buxton on the Race podcast saying that they thought McLaren, via Andrea Stella and Zach Brown, think potentially that there is a man that they need to back going forward in the medium to long term. And that man has a name, and his name is Oscar Jack Piastri. Currently your race lead. Oscar Jack Piastri leading Charles Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Lazy, by 0.8. Behind him, Checo Perez dropping off the pace in third. Not bad though for Checo. He'll take that, eh? Third place, especially when you're fighting for your job and you've materially underperformed your teammate season to date. Yeeted it into the barrier when the 51% owners of the business were in attendance. You know what I mean? Checo will take that. Props to him. Carlos Sainz in fourth, running long, just as is one Lando Norris. Lando Norris, 36 laps deep. Oh no, Lando Norris comes in the pits, and I'm going to wipe my nose. I've got a lump in my throat, in the words of Murray Walker. Yeah. 14 laps remaining. Decent stint from Lando Norris. But again, it's a story of what might have been, eh? I mean, had he just kept his foot in yesterday, flipping Nora, pass him, Lewis, blow up the motor, who cares? I don't think I think he would have if he could have. Daniel, Max's problems aren't with the tyres. The car is just SH1T, so no tyres will help. It's not working for him, right? The oversteering. You saw his incident yesterday. It's emotional, Matt says. Great stop from McLaren. I don't know what's going on. Right. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, mate. How do you like your F1? Apropos thumbnail on this video, by the way, Oscar Jack versus Charles Leclerc. I'll tell you what, if Oscar manages to hold off Charles Leclerc for the next 14 laps, I'm phoning up. Oscar does not need himself a safety car. Lando, on the other hand, in fact, to be fair, it's probably even a bit late for Lando, but he still could use a safety car. 69% of the chances of safety car at the outset before a wheel was turned at this Grand Prix. Oh, the humanity. Colapinto back in 11th now. Jeez. Norris and Verstappen. Oh, wow. Norris and Verstappen, right, 16 seconds between the championship lead in Max Verstappen in 6th and Lando Norris in 7th. Charles Leclerc, go on then. We need to get ourselves a cheeky driver of the day voting, don't we? This is so sick. How do you like them apples, Oscar Jack? Not stupid. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Charles better not stop again. He can't afford to, Kyrie. Nate says, now let's see if they can stay until the end with tyres, says Nate. He's a killer, I tell you. Oscar Jack Piastri's at back. You know, I doubted before now. I rate Lando Norris highly, even with the mistakes. I think he's a brilliant driver. You don't out-qualify everyone to the tune of 3/10 at Austria. If you're not a gangster in a car, right? Got to be good. We want the best pace, is what Lando Norris says. Oh my gosh. Look, you don't, if you're Lando Norris, I think we all need to put some respect on his name, particularly if we're couching a conversation in pure race pace terms and racecraft. If we're just talking about speed, he's right there next to Max Verstappen, I believe, and Charles Leclerc even. Like, he's up there with the quick, and Lewis Hamilton. He's not a far, like, stone throw away, wafer thin margins. However, he makes mistakes, right? And Oscar Jack Piastri, I mean, this is his sophomore season, for Pete's sake. Like, how do you like your Oscar Jack Piastri apples, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know what I mean? This hasn't been bad here. There's a new sheriff in town, I think. Even if he loses, let's be honest. Like, you've got to rate him for this drive. Driver of the day poll coming shortly, I promise you. Techie, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to get on my review. My review of this. Can you imagine my reaction video to this? Mate, going to be chaos. What do I need to do here? The quality of driving from Oscar Jack Piastri, sir. You stand corrected. It's Oscar Jack. You know what? Before I prejudice the voting, let me get 45% of you say Charles Leclerc, mate. Like, rain check on that still. we might want to get another poll out, to be honest. Well, let's get this poll out. You guys let me know driver of the day, because this is chaos. Go away, Lando Norris's engineer. What are they? Go away. No, he's got to just tell him he's got to look after the tyres. Just go away. You just get on my nerves. Charles Leclerc, wafer thin margins between himself and the barrier, or his car even. You guys let me know driver of the day. You know what? Instead of driver of the day voting, what we should be talking about is who's going to win this race. That's what it is. Who's going to win this race? I'm not backing against Oscar Jack Piastri ever again in life. I'm not. I will not, and I shall not. Why? Because that dude is young. He's got minerals. This is his sophomore season as Oscar Jack Piastri. Is he about to? No, he's not letting him go. This is Schumacher-esque is what we're dealing with here. Charles is going to have to do something different, chap. Set it up differently, Charles Leclerc. But I don't think he has it in his toolbox, I'll be honest with you. I'm buying my Oscar Jack Piastri cap today. I'm a full bought-in member to the fan club. Even if he doesn't win this race, I'll be honest with you. I've doubted him, whether he had guns and minerals to beat Lando Norris, as good as Lando Norris is. Now, however, about turn, I'm changing my mind. I am a believer. Oscar Jack Piastri out here converting skeptics into believers. Like, what are we doing here? Like, really? Is that what we're doing? 487 if you're watching concurrently. Do me a favour and smash the like. So I'm about to lose my SH1T with 11 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. Oscar Jack Piastri holding off Charles Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Lazy. Oh. We have ourselves some automotive pugilism. Oh, you know what Harry Benjamin's struggling with? It's the shine, isn't it? Ollie Behrman getting overtaken by Lewis Hamilton up into 12th. But Lewis Hamilton won't care for that. That's not even points yet for Lewis. Should have started in 7th, mate. Here's the truth. Look at George Russell. Andrea Stella talking to the sporting director, Anthony V. Colapinto showing that Albon is mortal, the humanity. Mate, it's a very good shout. It's a very good shout. Wow. Ted Kravitz saying, let's not forget the story in Monza, because McLaren were mugged in Monza by Charles Leclerc and Ferrari, and by virtue of their one-stopper. Remember, sometimes you got to do a one-stopper, eh? Charles Leclerc made it work last time out. 10 laps remaining. Let's go. Let us go. In another universe, there's Oscar Jack Piastri near the back. I know. Can you imagine? If Alpine had a half-decent legal apartment, he'd still be in the purgatory that is Alpine. 605 if you're watching concurrently. Oscar Jack Piastri is driving the wheels off this car. 75% think Oscar. The Max Verstappen podcast has officially ended. I know, it's techie, isn't it? 645 if you're watching concurrently. Do me a favour, smash a like. We are 9 laps remaining. Or 10 laps left even. Oscar Jack Piastri. Oh, wow, look at that. DRS gone for Charles Leclerc. Remember what I said about tax? Oh, Oscar, look at them bloody, that picture of them both sliding. Fast and furious from both of them. Oversteer settings, but Oscar's was more severe than was Charles Leclerc's, right? Oh, the humanity still within DRS is Charles Leclerc. There are two drivers on the grid who've nailed it. I've got to give props to Charles Leclerc. I know I'm disparaging, calling him Jean lazy and all this nonsense, but sometimes this is ERS games now. Oh, nervous, Annie. How do you like your F1 chat? Like, I mean, not been a bad race, though. Not a bad Sunday to be an F1 fan, this. Why haven't Ocon, Gasly, Ricciardo pitted yet? Safety car settings, if they haven't. Trying to benefit from a cheeky safety car last minute, maybe. Perez is lurking, waiting for tyres to fall off. Mate, Perez is coming again, isn't he? I don't think he has pace for these two, though. Checo's a tier down from an Oscar Jack Piastri, in my humble opinion. Look how close they are to the barrier. Oh. Go on. Come on, Oscar. Bring this home, chap. Ted Kravitz giving it the proper narrative that this is vengeance for McLaren. I don't think he's gonna. Carlos Sainz coming into place as Harry Benjamin. But it matters not. You know what? There's only one plot going on here that anybody cares about, and that's for first place. This is always the way with Formula One, is it not? Just want to know who's going to win, especially when it's like this. You've got 1, 2, and 3 in Oscar Jack Piastri, Charles Leclerc, modern day Jean Alesi, and Checo Perez. I don't care about the rest, I'll be honest, as hard as that sounds. Sydney, I desperately want to be invested in Lewis Hamilton at the moment, but I just, mate, for what? For 11th? I mean, yeah, perfect. And you know what the joke is? I think Colapinto in that Williams will have speed in hand on the straights for Lewis Hamilton. It'll be difficult. 0.85 is the difference between first and second. There's back markers coming. It's going to get massive. Oh, the humanity. Back markers coming. Zhou Guan Yu. Oh, no. Who can navigate these? Oh, no. Get your blue flags out, gents. Get these back markers, these stragglers out the way. We cannot have them interfering in this. That's been an absolutely humongous, titanic battle between Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc, the best of the new breed. How do you like your F1, ladies and gents? With who's coming up? Zhou Guan Yu, Bottas, all of them, bloody Nora, all of the back markers. Zhou Guan Yu on mediums, Bottas, Stroll, Ocon, all of these stragglers. Now Oscar Jack Piastri is going to have to navigate these bods over the next 8 laps and not lose any. Oh, it's a tough one this now for Oscar, I'll be honest with you. You won't like this. As if he hasn't got enough on his plate already. Sidney Teddy's the best. He's proper. Science win can behave yourself, Nate. But again, not anything can happen in F1, and it usually does. Candidate Lando 1.5 seconds faster than Max. Wow. 29, 8 seconds, 8 laps, 8 seconds between, well, less than 8 now, 7 seconds between Verstappen and Norris. With 8 laps remaining, he's going to have to go some to overtake. What is going on? This race is incredible. Best race of the season, anyone? Me think so. Me think so. 0.6 seconds in the delta between your top two. Oh, the humanity. Bloody Nora. Go on then. Where are these back markers, eh? Another wrinkle in this F1 narrative tapestry that is Baku. 7 seconds away. He's coming. Things coming up to a bump, but again, he could be in 12. Science isn't digging the hole fast enough. Oh my gosh. The gap between your first and second. Nobody cares, Harry Benjamin. Put the camera on Sean and Oscar and leave it alone. 0.3 is the delta. Where are these back markers, gents? Zhou Guan, you get out the way, chap. The blue flags need to be waved properly and swift for this Zhou Guan Yu chap. Bottas, Stroll, and the rest. Get out the way. All the way down to Ocon. Charles Leclerc having another gander, but mate, you're playing it again, Charles, and you're like, do you know what I mean? You've got nothing. It's doing the same thing over and over again, Charles. And that surely expecting different results is the definition of insanity, chap. Oscar Jack Piastri has got you nailed there. Leclerc over the radio. Brian Bozzi encouraging him. It's motivation time. What you should be doing, Brian Bozzi, is advising Charles Leclerc that you need to stay close. Why? Because you've got 3 or 4 back markers coming up. That's why. And depending on where Oscar Jack Piastri encounters Zhou Guan Yu for the first time, I mean, if he catches him up on a place where there's no overtaking to be done, then that's lap time in the hand, right? Store up your battery if you're Charles Leclerc and hope that these back markers do you a favour and that marshals are a bit laissez-faire with their blue flag waving. That's the play, and I hope that doesn't come into it. Desperately in my review reaction video at the end of this race, I don't want to be talking about marshals again and blue flag waving or lack thereof. That will kill me. Oscar Jack Piastri has had enough bad luck by virtue of the incompetence and multitudinous ineptitude of his papaya-coloured team thus far season today. I don't want to see any more bad luck for Oscar Jack Piastri. Not after the back of this drive. Can't even talk. I'm about to go scorched stuff. Come on, Oscar Jack. What are we saying here? Still not catching. Yeah, I love this though. Not catching the back markers. If these back markers... Get out the way, back markers. Now we'll be getting some slipstream from them on this straight. Get out the way, back markers. Please, Zhou Guan, you move. Got no time. You can't be... Stop injecting yourself into F1 equations that do not concern you. Zhou Guan Yu, Valtteri Bottas, Lance Stroll, and bloody Esteban Ocon. Get out the way. Get down the track or move out the way. This is a race for first position and there is 6 laps left. And both Oscar Jack and Charles Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Alesi, have been incredible. And we don't need any external parties putting their nose in circumstances and situations that don't need them. Get out the way. Oscar Jack Piastri again, struggling on tyres, aren't they? Understeer. Oh, understeery. 0.8 is the delta between your first and second. Runners and riders. How do you like your F1? Andrea Stelladina double blink. He doesn't want to see his face. Put the camera on Oscar Jack. 0.833 is the difference. How far are these back markers, peddlers? Can you see them on the lap? On the old track radar? They're far enough, aren't they? They might be all right. 6 laps remaining. They might be all right. Carlos Sainz again. Oof, Carlos Sainz in there as well, eh? Oscar, I mean, how's he done this? No DRS all this time, holding off Charles Leclerc, who everybody said aficionados and part-time casuals alike that Charles Leclerc is the quickest point-to-point driver currently on the grid. Close to the wall, Macon, very close to the wall. 3.5 till max for Lando Norris. He's got to be quick. I don't think he'll get round. I don't think he'll manage it. Although 5 laps left, eh? Oh, the humanity. I can't cope. 1.0 seconds in the difference between the race leader and the second place driver, Charles Leclerc. Out of DRS now for Oscar Jack. There is a tax to be paid if indeed you're going to hover around in somebody's dirty air for so long. Oscar Jack Piastri, it looks like, has broken the DRS. 1.2 seconds. Let's go. Come on, Oscar Jack. Broken the DRS finally. Get out the way, modern day Jordan Lazy. This is Oscar Jack's time. What are you talking about? 1.266 seconds. I've just seen a screenshot that I took from yesterday of qualifying, and I can see what you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. But of course, Charles Leclerc was in pole. So if I'm looking right and left. I'm like, how is Charles Leclerc overtaken? But he hasn't overtaken because Oscar Jack Piastri is a crack, as they say in Spanish, an absolute legend. The next one, forget Andrea Kimi Antonelli for now. Forget bloody Ollie Behrman. There is a here and a now as far as the next one up, the next Fernando Alonso, the next Sir Lewis, Carl Davidson, Hamilton, the next Ayrton Senna, the next Alan Prost. That dude has a name, ladies and gentlemen, and that chap's name is Oscar Jack Piastri with 5 laps remaining. Done all those laps with no DRS and fended off a charging modern day Jean Alesi, the quickest dude on the grid. What do you mean? Get behind, you know what, as much as Lando Norris, there's an element of pragmatism to be applied to this championship, this drivers' championship equation. However, if we're talking about here on in 2025, 2026, 2027, if McLaren are going to get behind one driver, then that driver has a name, and that driver's name is Oscar Jack Piastri. What are you talking about? 1.7 seconds. He is vanquished, slayed for the dragon. That is modern day Jean Alesi yet again. Charles Leclerc puts it on pole and doesn't manage to convert. What do you mean? Barring accidents and acts of gods. Checo Perez now closing in on Charles Leclerc. What do you mean? Is Charles Leclerc even going to manage a podium here? Dropping like a stone, and I don't want that for Charles because he's been incredible, to be fair. As much as it would be Schadenfreude and a bit of bad mind for me to rejoice in Charles Leclerc dropping off the podium. Just because he's been so good. Just because he's been so good. No rear tyres. What have we been saying, ladies and gentlemen? You heard me talking about this. Charles Leclerc now has no tyres. Why? Because there is a tax to be paid from hanging around in somebody's dirty air for 20 plus bloody laps. That's what happens. This is Formula One, and this is the ground effect tech spec of car. Hang around in somebody's dirty air trying to make a pass and failing. Try and make a pass again. Put another wheel up the outside and fail again. And ultimately, towards the end of the race, exactly what didn't happen to Charles Leclerc at Monza is going to come back to bite him. The dragon that he needs to slave for is tyre deck and thermal wear, and that's why he's struggling now. Come on then, Charles. Let's see you get your arms out now. Although it's multi-pronged this. Who wouldn't mind seeing Checo Perez redeem himself and nail himself a Charles Leclerc towards the end of this race? I mean, put that in your pipe and smoke it, Charles Leclerc or Checo Perez. Naysayers even scorched up cheer. How do you like it? Not bad, eh, this race? 4 laps remaining, or 3 even. Oh no! Checo's got Charles, but Charles got him back. Oh no! And all the while they're squabbling, where are these back markers, by the way? Bloody Nora. Is Checo Perez going to nail himself Charles Leclerc with 3 laps remaining? And how about Lando Norris? Lando Norris now within DRS. About to be within the... Oh my gosh, Lando's going to nail himself Verstappen. Go on and split screen this for us, production, because we've got Verstappen. Oh my gosh, Lando nails Max Verstappen as well. What are we doing? And Checo Perez is about to have himself another nibble at Charles Leclerc. What are we doing here? 3 laps remaining. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is F1 chaos. How do you like them apples? Oh my days. I'm just seeing the overtaking manoeuvre. Lando, again, will be desperately wanting to have a nibble at Oscar Jack Piastri, 28% driver of the day. Don't even ask me any stupid questions. You know what I mean? Oscar Jack Piastri now 3.4 seconds down the road. Checo Perez well within the DRS of Charles Leclerc as he wrestles to hang on to those tyres. Lando Norris up into 6th again. Bloody Nora. What could this have been for Lando Norris? Make bad decisions and get bad outcomes. Do you know what I mean? 656 of you watching concurrently as I'm about to lose my mind. Oscar Jack Piastri is about to bring a grown man to tears. How do you like it, F1, ladies and gents? How do you like it? Oscar Jack Piastri, do you understand what that dude has just done in this second stint today? McLaren are feeling bruised and battered at having been out-thunk. Yes, Cameron with the verb conjugation. Out-thought, out-thunk by Ferrari and Charles Leclerc at the last race, one stopping, and they didn't want that again. So they went toe-to-toe. They said, you know what, Charles Leclerc, we will see you your one stop at the Italian Grand Prix, and we will raise you this one. Checo Perez just now, Charles Leclerc. What happened with Checo just then? Oh, I haven't seen it. I'm behind on the visual, but I can see it on the timing sheet. Something happened to Checo. Oh, he got run wide by... Yeah, no, that's what you get. Sainz comes through. Oh, my gosh. Sainz onto the podium. Perez and Sainz contact. Flipping Nora. George Russell up into the podium. Oh, my gosh. What's going on? Oh my gosh. Then there you get your yellow flag and your safety car, 69%. Sainz and Perez out. Oh my God, Checo. And you've done so well, chap. Checo had nailed it. This was the redeeming story. And now all of a sudden it's gone. So all of that good work, all of the qualifying session. Bloody Nora. Oh, Checo, you got to feel for the chap, eh? Let's have a look back at it. I'm so keen to see. Checo Perez needed to nail Charles Leclerc, right? Got the slipstream, but he went around the outside, go around the inside. Oh, he was too conservative on the brakes. He'd done himself a Lando Norris at chicane too, right? Yeah, now Checo's just cheesed off. Checo is carrying the burden that was being held up by Lando. He got held up by Lando and he was driving too angry, wasn't it? 664 if you... Oh, Carlos Sainz, you can't do that, bro. Carlos, you can't do that, bro. Not when he's alongside you. Got to drive in a straight line, Carlos. And now you've scuppered Checo. Yeah. Oh, Checo, mate. Oh, Checo. Oh, you've got to feel for Checo. You've got to feel for Checo. But you got to make, this is why you got to make those moves. Mate, you moved across is what happened, Carlos. Ever so slightly, but you didn't know, to be fair. 680 if you're watching concurrently. We're on the final lap. Virtual safety car has been deployed. Look at the Scuderia Ferrari, just like... I think they both overcomplicated it a tad. Oh! Oh, how do you like Coyote Loose gets his pit stop? I know, it's a little too late though, eh? This guy making clear that the only hire there... I know, Harry's not been great. What happened? Nate... Oh, it got techie towards the end there. Checo started to approach the gearbox of Charles Leclerc. Had a cheeky nibble round the outside though, critically. If you're going to make it stick on Charles Leclerc, you wanted to go up the inside, but that was the opportunity that was presented to him. And then he got too conservative on the brakes, which was not the way forward. He did a Lando Norris at chicane 2 at the Italian Grand Prix. Cheeky vista at my ex-girlfriend Naomi Campbell. He was too conservative. Checo could have made that work, but he needed to be super aggressive on the brakes. He wasn't aggressive enough on the brakes, and of course Charles Leclerc, woman scorn setting, will feel like he was always. Let's go, Karun Chanduk. Put respect on Oscar Jack. Karun Chanduk saying what I've just said. Sorry to divert. Listen. Carlos Sainz and Checo Perez had to come in together. Ultimately, probably 50-50. If you're going to lay blame at anybody's door, potentially Carlos Sainz for not keeping straight once Checo Perez was alongside. But Checo shouldn't have been there. He should have made that move stick. He had that move. He just needed to be super aggressive on the brakes. He did what Lando Norris had done at the second chicane at Monza and was too conservative at the wrong time. Karun Chanduk, for the avoidance of doubt, has just said, Oscar Jack Piastri is no longer the next star in F1. No longer. That's yesterday's story. Coming into this Grand Prix, the narrative was about whether and why McLaren hadn't exercised team orders hitherto season to date. Well, you know why. You know why now. Because now going forward, on the back of this performance from Oscar Jack Piastri, the way that the way that he nailed with the clinicism, the way that he nailed the overtake on modern day Jean Alesi, who yet again doesn't convert a pole to a win, the way that he nails it and then holds him off over the succeeding laps is absolutely different gravy, different level. Yet again, Harry Benjamin fails to give this the props and the momentum, the cadence that it deserves as an event. Oscar Jack Piastri is here to stay. There is a driver going forward, maybe not this year, with Lando Norris still in the fight for the World Drivers' Championship. There is a driver behind whom McLaren need to get and prioritise. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why they haven't been too keen to exercise team orders, because the plot line, the narrative going forward as far as McLaren, the papaya-coloured team, papaya rules, etc., etc., there is a driver who they need to get behind, and that driver has a name. That driver's name is Oscar Jack Piastri, and we all need to put some respect on it. What do you mean? Ron Real, this is chaos. Lando was going to be a sore losing Austrian Nate. Lando he did do a good job. He did well. He extracted, he optimised for it, but what could have been? I'll tell you what, Oscar Jack Piastri would have made that mistake yesterday. Cam, you are speaking as if the McLaren is not the class of the field right now. Fair point, Joe P. Fair point. But I think you can argue that, were Ferrari the quickest car today? I don't know. Ferrari had the quickest car the first stint, I'll tell you that much. I don't know about the second stint on the hards though. Lando's always a sore loser. Something about Lando. He's a brilliant driver though. I've got to put some respect on his name, but there is something about Lando that doesn't quite sit right with you. I think Oscar, and he doesn't, you hear Oscar Jack Piastri, Sunday drive, chaps, his voice is just like, not bad for a number 2 driver, Mark. Oh, the humanity. Oscar is an absolute G. I'm buying my Oscar Jack Piastri cap. I'm a fully paid up member to the fan club now. After what we saw just then, mate, Perez clown said, I don't think it was Checo needed to make the move stick. Sometimes when you try and make a move stick and you fail, you all of a sudden find yourself in the danger zone, the carbon fibre zone, as some say. If Checo was just a little bit more aggressive on the brake pedal with his braking point, then that doesn't even happen. He nails the overtake on Charles. Oh, the humanity. Your runners and riders, 29% Oscar Jack Piastri driver today. 666 of you watching concurrently. Bad omens, but it's been a fantastic race. Look at this. Mate, Charles, you didn't need to be in the dirty air that long. It was never... I think Charles had the fastest car. But there is a tax to be paid from labouring, from lingering in the dirty air of Oscar Jack Piastri that long. He was in there about 20 laps, wasn't he? Tyres were always going to give up. And proper dirty air, not like 1.5 seconds down the track from Oscar. He was within DRS all that long, right? All the while within DRS. Maybe the play was to back off and come again, but there was always going to be a tyre tax to be paid from Charles Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Alesi. What do you mean? Your runners and riders. How do you like it? That was sick. I can't believe it, guys. I'm mad. Imagine my reaction video in a minute, yeah. I might have to go live with that as well. That is chaos. An 8 PM stream as well, yeah. How do you like them apples? Your runners and riders. Podium positions. Oscar Jack Piastri, epic level. Generational drive from that man. Made. He just sounds cool, doesn't he? Listen to him. He's Terminator. After that drive, as exciting as that was, back and forth, the crash at the end, holding of Charles Leclerc, a charging Charles Leclerc in a Scuderia Ferrari, that was quick on the back of what happened in Monza. And Oscar Jack Piastri just sounds like bloody Nora. I feel like I need to call Windsor and get his take tomorrow. That video will go up at some point. Your runners and riders. Oscar Jack Piastri nails it. Oh, the humanity. How do you like them apples? Leclerc, Russell sees out the final step of the podium. How's George done that? And again, but this again only underlines the nonsense decision that was Mercedes' decision to start Lewis Hamilton in the pits. Why? Starting in set anyway. I can't even get negative and scorched earth on Mercedes. So enamoured. And indeed has Oscar Jack Piastri by virtue of his not insubstantial talents and God-tier drive. Look, Oscar's mum was there as well. Let's go! Oscar's mum. Mate, he just doesn't even, he's unmoved. Got Charles Leclerc yet again failing to convert from pole. But he was brilliant today, Charles. To be fair to him, I'd love to leverage some criticism at him. Modern day on the lazy choker settings. But I think that would be unfair because he's incredible today. Just not as good as Oscar Jack is the truth. That's the bloody truth. Got nabbed. Got his lunch money stolen from him just as Lando Norris did last race weekend. You know what I mean? There's a reason why Oscar keeps stealing people's lunches because they don't see him coming. He moves in stealth. Do you know what I mean? Stay silent and only speak when it's time to say checkmate. That's the epitaph. That's what they're going to put on Oscar Jack Piastri's epitaph once he's finished. Move silently and only speak when it's time to say checkmate. Oscar Jack Piastri nails it. From Charles Leclerc, George Russell, Norris, Verstappen, Alonso, Albon, Colapinto up into 8th, but again, sadly, loses out to his teammate Alex Albon, but beats 7-time champion Sir Lewis, Carl Davidson, Hamilton. Behrman beats Hulkenberg though, props into 10th. Hulkenberg 11th, Gasly, Ricciardo, Zhou Guanyu, Ocon, Bottas. Oh, the humanity. Ladies and gents, I'm going to have to run. Can't wait till Lewis is out of Mercedes. Me too. Carl wasn't as good. Mate, this is chaos. Carlos was at fault for the incident. I think so, Daniel. Carlos didn't know he was there, did he? He presumed that the overtake was stuck already, and it was not. Piastri, well done. Perez lost position. Should have made the overtaking manoeuvre stick on Shaw. Yeah, brethren him up, Shaw. You're going to be seeing a lot more of him. That Oscar Jack fella. Mate, what would you like in Piastri or Lando part of the garage? Oscar. If I'm going to be there more than a couple of years, it's going to be Oscar's going to bring you the glory now. I've decided. Checo and Sainz touching, very helpful for Max 2. True. But and Lando got promoted as well, right? Don't think it mattered. The travesty in this story was Checo Perez had done all that hard work, driven brilliantly, but then failed to chew his automotive pugilism food before he swallowed, sadly. Bless him. I mean, and now he's under pressure again, having driven brilliantly. This is the one track around which he was going to nail it, right? Back who suits him. Low minimum speed turns. Yeah, George, have a chat with the next one, man. Bend the knee, George. And Sean. He's the next one. Can say that with confidence. Karun Chanda did the moment justice, though Harry Benjamin was a tad short. Undercooked it. It's no longer the next one. Oscar Jack is here. It's his era, and everybody else is living in it. Cool down room is going to be interesting. Right, I'm going, guys. This is mad. Thank you so much for watching the stream. Do me a favour and smash a like if you haven't already. That wasn't a bad race. How do you like your F1? Ladies and gents, Oscar Jack Piastri is here and is here to stay. Stealing Lando Norris's lunch money at Chicane 2 at Monza and nailing Charles Leclerc this race, and most pertinently keeping Charles Leclerc and onrushing Charles Leclerc, modern day Jean lazy settings, the man that many say is the quickest point to point of the current drivers on the grid, behind him for circa 20 plus laps in his sophomore year. For Pete's sake, there is a reason why McLaren didn't want to put all of their eggs in the Lando Norris basket. That reason has a name, ladies and gentlemen, and that reason's name is Oscar Jack Piastri. We'll catch up later.